Alright, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you people hear me? Can I be heard currently? Should be good this time. I remember last time I struggled a bit, but I am ready. I'm very ready. So who hears me? Please tell me. As I take the first of many sips of water. Let's see. Seeing people in the chat. Nice rhyme. Did I rhyme? I didn't even realize. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Alright. Boop. Hey peeps. Welcome to the Blue's Clues New Review Part 2. Alright. I love Brandon with my intro. Hello everybody, my name is TechReal and welcome to the review. It feels like it's been a while since I've done that intro. Did I do that in the last stream? I don't know. It's my intro. It's my whole thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Everyone can hear me nice and clearly. Welcome, peeps. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm just checking all my stuff. Part 2, indeed. Back in the thinking chair. Here we are. I saw Adam said something before. Did you say? Yeah, ready for some nitpicks. Yes. Oh, we got things to talk about today. Oh, we got things to talk about. We are going to be saying some things. Not all of them will be completely positive, but I'm going to be saying them in the best way I possibly can. So yeah. How does the thinking chair feel? It feels wonderful. It feels even better once you have like another chair in the chair. That's very comfortable. That's how you get the full experience. I feel like Josh and Steve and Joe, they don't get the full experience. You need another chair to go in the chair, specifically a spinny chair. Why do you ask? Because that's how the illusion works. Oh my gosh. Hello everybody. You got a lot of people saying hi. Hi people. Backstage clues. Hi. I know you relatively. You're on my server. Oh, a lot of people here on my server. Alright, waiting for some people to get in and then I'm gonna get started. Because I have a lot of things to talk about today. A lot of nitpicks. As I mentioned last time, this is the nitpick episode, where I'm going to be talking about, where the first stream is obviously talking a lot about specifically the main points of the show, animation, the host, designs and, episode types and all that, and, updated stuff. This time, I'm going to get into the stuff that bothers me a lot. That really quite bothers me. What are you covering today? That is a very good question, in fact. So let's look over what we are covering today. Today we're going to be covering the toys of Blue's Clues New, the advertising. Yes, we are going outside of the show for this one, for these two first subjects. Then we go back into the show with Mailtime, notebook variants, and continuity, because these are all the things in the show that currently bother me to my very core. So, yeah. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little nervous today. I'm a little nervous to be getting into some of this. Because the thing is, I don't want to make people angry. And I don't even mean just people watching. Obviously, I'm never going to please everyone watching, but I don't want to upset the people who work at Blue's Clues New, because obviously they're doing a great job. They're doing an amazing job. The show is amazing. Although there are some things that I can say, as a critic in this context, I can't say that everything is 100% perfect. But at the same time, it makes me nervous because there's a small part of me that really hopes that one day I could end up working with Blue's Clues New, that, somehow, I don't know how that would happen, but it's a dream. And, so to make a video, or a stream, in this case, talking about things that I don't like in the series, is concerning, to say the least. But, of course, again, as I keep mentioning, and as I will continue to mention, everything that I'm going to say today, especially because it's all going to be very nitpicky, everything I say will be said in the most respectful and, constructively critical way that I can. I'm not just going to be rude and say, oh, I hate this is stupid. I'm not going to say completely kind words, but, at the end of the day, I love everything that the Blue's Clues new crew is doing, and I think they're doing really well. I just think that there are some things where, they could maybe improve on a little bit, that could fix. I've already accepted I'll never work on Blue's Clues. I feel that. I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out on the dream. That'd be really cool. But, Nick Jr. is always watching. They are. And I'm scared. I know one person who did a thing on Blue's Clues New has seen my channel before. I believe it was Peter Zizzo who had commented on my video talking about the new theme song, because that's what he worked on. So I know someone from the crew has seen my stuff before. It is not outside of the realms of possibility, and that's why I'm scared. But if you work on Blue's Clues New and you're seeing this, I love you. You're amazing. You're the best. I just think that there are some things that I would personally do better. Or not, I don't want to say better. I would do different that I think could potentially be better. Again, it's all my opinion. We'll see what everyone else thinks. But, yeah. This is just the one stream where Nick Jr. sees it. It would be. This would be the one video that everyone in Nick Jr. sees. That Angela sees. That, Josh sees. It would be the one. Just out of pure coincidence. I'm missing a lot of things. The creator of the bc&y theme song, yeah, Peter Zizzo. He did an amazing job on that theme song, as I talked about last time. You could say that Steve and Josh have seen your musical talents. That's true. For those who don't know, Steve and Josh, and I think Steve also tagged the, I forget exactly his name, I always forget, but Mailbox Voice. Also a person who makes music on the show, the original show, on a video that I did of a little cover of the It's Snowing song from Blues Big Holiday that I put on Instagram, a year before last, I think it was. So, that would be cool. Imagine Steve, Joe, or Josh popping in and being like, oh, hi, I would literally die. My biggest nightmare here is that I'm in the middle. Mike Rubin, thank you. I always forget his name for some reason. I always think I know his name, and then I'm like, I don't want to take the risk. But anyways, my biggest fear right now is that I'm in the middle of, talking about a point of something I don't like in the series, and then, someone from, Nick Jr., Angela, or, someone like Josh just drops in, and then I'm just like, oh, hi! I was just talking about this thing that I love about the show. And I would have a heart attack. But yeah. I saw that you did great on the cover. Thank you. It was a really random impromptu thing, and it surprisingly got noticed. It's always the random things that get noticed, I've noticed. I'm just looking through the comments a bunch. I saw someone mention Periwinkle. Periwinkle happened recently. That was a good episode. That was a really good episode. What did you guys think of that episode? That was amazing. That was for me, that was a 9 out of 10 at least. That was a really good episode. I love Periwinkle so much. He's not even my favorite character, but for some reason seeing him return is just really cool. What did everyone think of the new Periwinkle? I love him. I love him so much. His voice is cute. He stands on 2 legs now. I think I mentioned that last time, which is strange. But I'm used to seeing Orange Kitten and the other kittens in the show stand on 2 legs, so it's not too strange or out of place to me. Even though Periwinkle never did, but I like it. I think it'll help him with his magic. Honestly, he'll have more access to his hands without having to sit down. Rainbow Puppy, yes. Rainbow Puppy is strange. I love Rainbow Puppy, though. I immediately love her. That's the thing. I know this is the nitpick episode, so I shouldn't be like, oh, pardon me for nitpicking for a minute, but this is like so off topic from any of the things I'm going to be talking about today. But can I just say that I did not care for Rainbow Puppy's design when I first saw her. And kind of still now, because Rainbow Puppy is... I don't know. I can't think of a better way to do like a Rainbow Puppy design other than specifically just, sprinkles from the original series. But Rainbow Puppy is just so stripy, and it's just like a stripy rainbow the whole way down, and I don't know, that's a little iffy on the eyes for me personally. I don't know. In the show, I think it works a lot better than the first render that I saw of it. It was the first one. I think so. Because the first time I saw it was in the promo for the new Periwinkle episode. The second time, there was a promo image that was like a new render that looked a lot better because they blended it a little bit better. And then in action in the episode in animation, it kind of worked. It's not great, but it kind of worked. Have you ever thought about reaching out to Josh for an interview? You're definitely qualified for it. I'd like to think. I would love to interview someone from Blue's Clues New at some point. I would love to. I don't know how to go about doing so. I also don't know exactly yet, all the types of questions I would ask. But, I would love to someday, honestly. That'd be great. Rainbow Puppy is compared to Plum. Yeah. The thing about Plum is that Plum was added for a very specific, reason. It only really seemingly to teach Spanish, which is fine, but I feel like because that's not really the goal of this show as a whole, Plum's character was hard to utilize for the majority of the time. That's why Plum only showed up once or twice. Because he was more there, to be Periwinkle's friend than to be a fitting character in the show, in my opinion. So because I'm disappointed about Plum not returning too, but I also think that Rainbow Puppy kind of works a bit better for the show as a whole. Because Rainbow Puppy's thing isn't so specific as, just trying to, teach a certain language. It's more about, being a creator or, being an entertainer, which I feel like they can have a lot more fun with. And it shows a very clear connection between, with Periwinkle, since they both have entertainment-esque interests. If Sprinkles was added into bc&y, I would be so excited. So would I. I've been wanting it. I want it so bad. I feel like the animation budget will be bigger for the movie, because I don't know how I would feel to show the animation in the movie. I mean, yeah, that's fair. It probably will be, a little bit at least. I think it'll still retain the same style, but, I think it'll be a little bit better. Well, just a little bit more crisp. I think they have the ability. She's basically the life-size Rainbow Puppy toy from Blue's birthday. I mean, that's accurate. That's very accurate, actually. There's a part of me that almost wanted to say at a moment that, that toy was based on this Rainbow Puppy. In the same way that Blue's Polka Dots toy is now based on the Polka Dots books. But I don't think that's the case. I think the nose is a different color. But, that was almost a really good thing. Also, I swear I'm gonna get to the, review in a minute, but, this is a live stream. I have a lot of fun, seeing what you guys have to say, and, I just like kind of rambling, so, pardon me. Speaking of the movie, anyone here of all three hosts confirmed to be at the Macy's parade? Yes! That's so good. I'm so happy they're all gonna show up. I think they're all going to sing the, song from the music video, because that's an amazing song that includes all three of them. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. And it's weird going back to Legend of the Blue Puppy, saying that it was her special gift, but now Rainbow Puppy has that same gift, so now it's not as special. That's actually really funny. Oh my god, that's a really good point, actually. Rainbow Puppy having the ability to, walk on two legs and, talk words somewhat invalidates the specialness of the gift that was given to Blue. I mean, technically you can say that, Blue didn't have that anyway, so even though someone can do it in the same world, it's still giving Blue something that she didn't have, but that is pretty funny, though. That is something I didn't think about, actually. I mean, I did notice a connection in my brain, because, like, that's the weird thing. Seeing the Blue model, like, standing and talking is so strange. It feels so much more like Backyardigans than it does Blue's Clues. And not in a bad way, like, mind you, but it's really good. Unless Rainbow Puppy is from Puppyville. That's my theory. I'm calling it that at some point, like, Rainbow Puppy's gonna say she's from Puppyville. I feel like any dog that we see in this show that stands on two legs, just immediately in my brain, is from Puppyville. Because there's, like, two other dogs in that episode that are standing on two legs. And that could just be, like, maybe it's nothing, because Blue has stood on two legs at times. Like, it happens. But my theory is Puppyville. I just want it to be. It could be a round trip, and then we can get to Periwinkle. Periwinkle? Sprinkles. I mean, when has the show cared about continuity? Ooh, we're gonna get to that later. Oh, my lord. Alright, let's see. I'm just looking through the comments for any last other things. And we're gonna have other breaks where I can talk about this stuff too, just like last time. I'm just looking for any other things lastly before getting sort of the actual review. Is Blue's Room even canon anymore? No, kind of. I mean, not currently. And the thing is, it feels like what they're doing in the show and the movie so far sort of points to the idea that they're not bringing it back, but they're trying to reference it so that they can bring back elements of it without actually, like, bringing it back. Just in the sense that, Polka Dots now talks without having to be from a special room. Frederica seems to be, referenced in the upcoming movie, as well as Sprinkles, I think. So, I mean, that's the other thing. I don't know if Sprinkles is even going to return because of this. And now we have a dog talking and walking in the real world. So it's like, currently it's definitely not canon. Like other things in the show that didn't happen at this point, like, it's not canon, but, it could theoretically come back, maybe, but, I don't know. All I know is that right now it feels like they're more up for referencing Blue's Room rather than, like, actually trying to say that it happened, or that it is happening. Sort of like with magenta glasses, but we're gonna get to that again. Okay. My gosh. Almost 20 minutes in, and I'm already exhausted. Take a shot every time I sip some water. Or sip some water every time I sip some water. That one's probably healthier. There was a rumor before that Blue's Room was coming back, but it never happened, though. That's fair. I don't think Blue's Room could happen now, is the issue. Not in the show. Even in season 6, they didn't really have too much time to devote to Blue's Room, rather. So it was, like, already taking time away. But now that we have even less time in episodes, like, it's a lot harder to include that into the actual show, if not impossible. So if Blue's Room did come back, I think it would come back as a strictly spin-off series that they would probably, like, introduce in an episode and maybe reference from time to time, but, you know. Review time or sip some milk and take a bite of graham cracker? Is it review time or snack time? Well, I don't have milk or a graham cracker, so I guess it's review time. Alright, let us get to the first point of today, the toys. So, for the most part, I have nothing but positive things to say about the toys. The moment they came out, like, they, like, released a bunch of, there was, what was it? It was like a toy fair, I believe, and they showed off a bunch of the toy designs, and immediately I was hooked. I was enamored by every single toy. Everything that they've put out toy-wise has been, like, absolutely amazing, and absolutely, like, quite quality. With some exceptions, blah. Why is there less time in episodes? Because of advertising, I think. Like, commercials. Anyways, toys. So for the most part, toys are good, and I actually have some here that I can show off, so I will do that. First, I will show off what is probably the least interesting one, as it's not a toy, it's a book. I got this at FAO Schwartz. I'm going to be talking about FAO Schwartz in a minute, but it's a really nice book. The images are so nice. Like, it's so crisp and beautiful, and it's really nice. It's Blues Pajama Party is the thing, and yeah, I'm actually surprised Mr. Salt's hat is not being picked up on the green screen. Wow. All right. Speaking of Evo Schwartz, I have this, which is less of a toy and more of like an exclusive item. I got some blue ears. I'm debating if I should put these on for a moment, but yeah, no, these are adorable. These are just absolutely adorable. I'll put them on just for a minute. Just for a second. How stupid do I look? I'm about to look up. Oh, incredibly stupid. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need a sip of water for that one. That's, oh, the pain. Okay. I got these ears at F.A.O. Schwartz from literally the nicest man alive. The nicest man alive. Because he was giving them out. He was giving them out for free during the Blue's Clues exhibit that they had there. And I had walked up to him and I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? Like, are these just for the kids or could I potentially have one as well? And the man said, you seem like a young soul. And he handed me the ears. And I kid you not, I was like almost about to cry. He touched my soul in a very special way. And I didn't need these ears. I'm not going to wear them often. But I wanted them. You know, why not? I also have the embarrassing one. This big embarrassing one. This is going to mess with the green screen most likely. So, bear with me. But, oh, yep, there we go. There's the green screen. Okay. Whoa, hold on. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we're good. I have a giant blue. I have a big old, this is like life-sized blue right here. It's amazing. It is everything, and I love it. This is like, it's so nice, and it's like, I didn't get a lot of toys from the original series in the realm of plushes, but I don't remember them being this nice. Like, where's that's not the paw print. We have the, like, perfect paw print over here. We have, like, she's so cute, and she's so big. This is literally, like, life-size, and it's adorable, and it's everything in the world. And I'm gonna put it away before, my green screen kills me. Hold on. I'm messing up everything. You did not see the green screen behind me? Don't even look. We're trying to keep up an illusion here, people. Alright. There we go. We're good. We're good. Should like fix my hair still from the blue ears. And lastly, what I have over here, I have some figurines. I have a little Josh boy who is adorable. Despite the fact that this is again nitpick, is the fact that like the notebook is like just plain blue on one side and black on the other, which you know, it's a toy. You know, obviously it's a tiny toy. Obviously, they're not going to print on every little aspect, but you know. We also have a little blue. These were sent to me by a friend, by the way. This is sent to me by Mia in the chat. So thank you, Mia. We have little blue here, which is adorable. She has the paw print, even though she only has 3 toes at the moment, because, you know, logic. But yes. And then we have a segue. Not a real segue, but a segue to the next topic, because here comes my big issue with these toys. So, we have magenta. Who can tell me what they might notice is the issue with this magenta? I just want to hear someone say it that isn't me. I would love to see you tell me. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. The chat to catch up. Because we're about to get into the issue. Again, I call it an issue. I'm about to go into full nitpick mode, so pardon me. There we go. I see it all coming in. Everyone's telling me. No glasses. Here's the thing. This wouldn't normally be a problem, because, you know, the show obviously didn't get to her glasses for a few episodes, so obviously. But here's the issue, for me personally. the toys didn't come out until after getting glasses with magenta. This is what I remember to be true. The toys came out, like, were officially released to be purchased after getting glasses with magenta. So, the toys with no glasses went out before, went out after magenta had gotten her glasses. And that bothers me immensely. So, hold on. I can show you some more of these toys. This is not the only one. Like, they made, hold on. They made this, and this. That's the one I just showed you. All these toys with not a single glasses. It's a problem. Because, like, I don't know. I think that they should have planned it better. I feel like someone behind the scenes could have potentially planned it better. Because if they knew, assuming they knew, if they knew the glasses episode was going to come so early into the series, then why wouldn't they, put the glasses on the toys in advance? And some people would think that maybe it's because they didn't want to spoil the glasses, and to that I would say, haha, spoilers are a subject we'll get to in a minute. But I don't think that's the case, because the thing is, there is a toy that came out with polka dots, with blue with the polka dots plush, and that came out long before the episode where they introduced polka dots. So, my issue here is, why can they put polka dots in a toy way before he shows up, but also not put the glasses on magenta, in advance for when she gets them? Especially because the glasses came out, the glasses episode came out so soon. And again, so, far before the toys came out. So, that was weird. That was a strange thing. That is my biggest thing that I could say about these toys, and my biggest issue with any of the toys, really. All the other toys are amazing. But I just dislike the idea that they did not think ahead to the fact that magenta was going to get her glasses so early. Because again, she already had them from the previous series, and then she got them so soon. It feels like they could have planned it better. I don't know if there was some stuff going on behind the scenes that would have prevented that. I really don't know. But it bothers me now. See, and because the issue is, they're still putting out certain toys with magenta with no glasses. There is a Blue's Clues new advent calendar that's coming out that, there's a, Blue's Clues advent calendar that's coming out that has some glasses magenta, has one glasses magenta figure, but also one without glasses, because of the fact that they're mixing from, different eras of this toy. And, there was the ones that didn't have the glasses because they didn't prepare in advance. It's very strange to me. And I understand, it's probably a simple mistake that they made, but it's one that, for a while was bothering me, because it took a long time to get the glasses onto magenta again. It was a little absurd. And, mistakes happen, but and again, this is the Nitpick episode, so that's the type of things that we're going to say about that. So, yeah, that's the most I have to say about the toys. What do you guys think about the toys that we've gotten thus far, and the whole glasses situation? What do you guys think about that? Let's see. Check my stuff. Kids aren't going to care. That's fair. And that's definitely the defense that can be used for a lot of, certain nitpicks I'm going to be going over today. A lot of times kids aren't going to care about this type of stuff. But, I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like that's not always a good excuse for this type of stuff, or, a good enough reason. Because even though kids might not notice, or kids might not even care, it doesn't feel like that's any good excuse for, less than, the word is escaping me, less than good planning. I feel like you should always plan your things in advance, even if it's for a young audience, because, I don't know, that's how I would run a show. I want the attention to detail that, the kids may not care about, but, maybe, maybe others will appreciate, or maybe, the older fans, or maybe, even the kids will appreciate and they just don't know it. Because even though even if a kid might not notice or might not care, they still would probably like it better if it was accurate. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Need a good notebook toy. Fair. There have been notebook toys coming out, but I feel like they don't have, like, a classic notebook toy like we've gotten in the past. Like the old notebook toys. Which is unfortunate. I feel like they'll probably get around to it eventually, but so far they've been doing pretty good. Let's see. I'll say yes, the toys are cool. It's nice to have merch space in the show in this decade. I know. Like, again, I didn't get a lot of, like, the old Blue's Clues merch. I mean, I got some. I had, like, a Blue's Clues Halloween costume when I was a kid. And I got the notebooks. But I didn't really... Actually, I might have got... No, I lied. I have one plush. It was, like, a Christmas plush that I put on the tree every year. But I don't know. It feels like I didn't have a lot of Blue's Clues stuff as a kid, outside of the notebooks. But now I have a bunch. As a almost 25-year-old person. So... Yeah. Let's see. Just look through the comments here. I feel like I missed some while I was talking. By the time the episode aired, it was probably too late to put the glasses on her. I mean, fair. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like they should have planned for it in advance. Because, again, if Polka Dots could have been on the toys before Polka Dots episode came out, why couldn't they do the same with the glasses? That feels like a strange thing for me. Especially with how many magenta toys there are. It feels like they should have accounted for that. But yeah. I'm working on my homemade Goobs Clues notebook. Ooh, very intrigued. Goobs Clues. My little fan series that may one day happen, if it is possible. There's a part of me that almost, like, I almost did this. I almost, instead of having the normal thinking chair living room back here, I was originally going to do the Goobs Clues one, just for consistency. I didn't, but that would have been amusing. Is there any toy or merch that's out that you don't have that you really want? Ooh. I don't know. There is a lot of stuff out. I'm trying to remember some of the bigger products. I mean, most of the products that I have are like the things I really wanted. I don't know. I can look up. Let me look up. Hold on a second. Blues, Clues, and I can tell you something that I know that I want really badly. I don't know if it's out yet, but I do know that I heard of it. And I don't know if it's like a normal thing, if it's like a good quality thing, but I heard there's going to be, or is, a ukulele coming out that is decorated to look like Josh's guitar, and that would be really cool. I really want that, because I play the ukulele, and I like Blue's Clues, and it'd be cool to have something that contains both. For me, 2 words, Periwinkle plush. Ooh, yes. Yes, that's good. I like that. I would want that too. The Periwinkle plush is really cute. They have like Christmas plushes. They're all adorable. Goobs, Clues, and You would be a great spin-off for Goobs Clues. Goobs, Clues, and You. There are so many bc&y toys that I want right now. Fair. They have a lot of good ones. I want a notebook one. I really do. One of the notebook ones would be really cool. Periwinkle Funko Pop needs to happen. That would be rad. We need more Blue's Clues Funkos. We have one coming out. Like, oh my god. Finally. I remember I designed some for the hosts, like, a couple of years back, but, like, oh my gosh. I want some Blue's Clues Funkos. Not everyone likes Funkos. I really like Funkos. It depends, but, you know. Oh my gosh, I really need it. I need more Funkos. Speaking of the ukulele looking like Josh's guitar, they already have that in a combo set with a toy piano. Dang. Is that already out? I didn't know that was out. I mean, I don't have the money for it anyways, but oh my gosh. Something to look for in the future. There's also a toy version of Josh's guitar, too, by the way. That is true. They have so many toys now. Like, when they first did that first toy fair, they had so many toys come out for Blue's Clues and You. I only thought they were going to have a few. There's so many variations, and especially now, there's so much merch for Blue's Clues and You, which is amazing to see. I know I've designed some of it myself. Not anything that was used, obviously, but I've designed Blue's Clues merch that I wish they'd make. I designed shirts for Blue's Clues New. I'm almost tempted to pull them up. Because I never showed them on YouTube, I know. Trying to remember where I posted them. Did I post them on Twitter? I might have. I can check. If you guys are interested, of course. Correct me. And people say toys are dying. Oh, they're not dying. Toys are here to stay. Everyone needs toys. Kids can't survive on apps. I mean, they could, but I mean, they shouldn't. Toys are fun. Toys are good for kids. Give kids toys. That is the reality we need. I'm like scrolling through Twitter looking for... I found them. There we go. And here we go. Someone's saying show the shirts. I will. I just need to prepare. Can I do that? Oh, okay, I can. Sweet. Okay, hold on. This is impromptu. I didn't expect to do this. But pardon me while I set this up real fast. Hold on. I have so many tabs up for like my images, and now I'm just like adding more on the stream. So pardon me, please, while I just pull up some stuff that I made. I hope this is interesting. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Oh, one of these actually has to do with an upcoming topic that I'll be talking about in a little bit. Copy link. And one more. I made 6 shirts. Okay. Okay. Got this set up. If I can get all my stuff back. There we go. Toys will survive forever. Yes. Yes, they will. Oh, show the ornaments. Dang it. I forgot about the ornaments. Oh, no. Oh. Please tell me I put those on DeviantArt so they're easier to find. Hold on. Ay. Bear with me for a moment. Of course I didn't put those on DeviantArt. That would have made my life easier. Okay. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I'm so trying to do stuff. I'm like in the middle of a review just desperately trying to find something I made a while back. Hold on. Alright. So for reference, let me just say what I'm doing instead of being silent. I've designed some Blue's Clues new shirts, and I've designed some Blue's Clues new Christmas ornaments at one point or another in the past. And because I love the idea of being able to design some product for Blue's Clues new. Because I think a lot of their products are good in terms of their wearable merch and like toys and such, but like sometimes I feel like they can be a little lacking in certain areas, especially in the shirts. I still think they're really good, and I still think a lot of people are going to like them, and kids like them, but I feel like they can get a little bit more creative with them. Again, especially the shirts, but if I can just find what I'm looking for, that'd be great. Oh, okay, it's over here. Can I find them, please? I almost did. It's killing me here. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm so sorry for the delay. Copy. And put that there. And put that there. I just realized something that's really cool, which I'll talk about in a second, actually. Which also connects to a later subject, but we'll get to it. Alright. Copy link. And gosh darn you, thank you. Okay. I can finally stop using Twitter on the stream. Okay. Now that I'm finally back. Okay. Let me put that properly on the stream. Let me fix my green screen. My gosh. Okay. There we go. Okay. And now, a quick foray into some products I have designed for Blue's Clues and you that, boop. There we go. Alright, so first off, we have, I have 6 shirts that I made. We have this one, Can You Guess My Favorite Show, with 3 clues as to lead to Blue's Clues, of course. We have The Glasses Are Cool, using Magenta's glasses as the O's, because I thought that was clever. And just, I feel like a lot of kids can be self-conscious with glasses, so I feel like that, and that was even tackled in the episode a little bit. But, I don't know, nice magenta shirt that I thought of. We have this one, the sort of classic pocket shirt. Unlike some pocket shirts, I would opt for an actual pocket instead of just like a drawn-on pocket, but with a printed-on notebook and a paw print, because, paw print. We have this one that shows off some of the handy-dandy notebooks, which we will be talking about later. But a good couple of the variations, just to show off, that that's an aspect of the show. We move on to a silly one. We have the handy-dandy potato, because I made these around the time of that episode, and that was really funny to me, so... and then, lastly, for the shirts, we have Where Would You Skidoo, with the classic yellow frame for skidooing, and a question. That could be a good conversation starter. But yeah, so that's for the shirts. I'm just going to take a moment just to see what people are saying about those. Okay. So I was saying this. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then if I can go back to my other shot again, I can show off the ornaments. So round 1 of, first of all, wow, can we zoom out a little bit? Thank you. Round 1 of Christmas ornaments. We have Blue giving giving a guitar to Josh for Christmas. We have Shuffle and Pail in the snow, and again we have a notebook page one leading to Christmas. We have this one, which is a full gingerbread set of items, which I only now realize, looking back on it, that this one kind of does exist in the show to some extent, as the baking episode gave us a cookie notebook. Which is pretty amusing to me. The other ones, of course, Blue, a house, and a letter. And then lastly, we have some stockings for Josh and Blue, and the Shaker kids on a candy cane / graham cracker sled. Sleighing along. Sledding is what I meant to say. Sleighing is what I did say. But yeah, so those are all of my custom products that I have sort of designed over the course of time, that, like, if I could, I would sell them for Blue's Clues New. I would sort of give them, I would pitch them. I don't know the term to use. you know what I mean. But yeah, let me just get back to this. Oh yeah, the handy dandy cookie exists. I know. I only just realized that. Which that shirt was referenced from Laugh with Blue. Yes, that is correct. Boris should have made more appearances besides Blue stock. That's fair, but I feel like Joe's only shown up so many times, so that he'll probably return over time. Let me just, okay, there we go. Just trying to, shuffle my stuff. Okay, now I'm going to take a sip of water, and we'll finally get to the next part of the review. Thank you for bearing with me through my searches through Twitter. But yeah, okay, so part 2, there we go. Part 2. Let's talk about something that bothers me immensely regarding Blue's Clues New, the advertising. So, where to even start? Okay, so here's the thing. Blue's Clues New obviously puts out promos before each episode, but the issue is that they often tend to completely spoil episodes. Not only in just the promos, but in promotional clips that they'll put up on YouTube. ASMR sounds right there. I was doing ASMR? I didn't realize. I wish I knew what I did so I could do it more. But yeah, no, Blue's Clues New has the tendency to post clips on their YouTube and promote like promos on TV, on commercials, that kind of tend to give away a bit too much for the episode. In the promos, of course, they will sometimes show things such as like clues for the episode, and even, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a noise outside. I apologize, but there's nothing I can do. But yeah, so in the promos, they will show things such as clues or, activities, skidoo locations, sometimes even the ending of the episode, like the answer to Blue's Clues. And then on top of that, on YouTube, they will show extremely long clips for episodes before they premiere. Again, very much spoiling scenes, and again, in some cases, spoiling the ends of episodes, which is just very unfortunate. I don't know who's in charge of this whole advertising thing. I don't know if it's Nickelodeon themselves, or if the Blue's Clues team has any say in it, but it just seems like a very bad way to advertise your show properly, because Blue's Clues New, all in all, is, a show that's based on a mystery. Obviously, it's a very small, child, preschool level mystery, but it's a mystery all the same. It's something that has an answer that you have to figure out over the course of the show. So it always kind of bothers me when they will put up a clip or even show in a promo what the answer to that episode is, or even like a majority of clues. I know in the Blue's Treasure Hunt episode promo, they showed 2 out of 3 of the clues in the episode, plus the ending of the episode where that takes place, which was the answer. So, yeah, it can be problematic, and even as much as recent as just very recently with the newest promos that they've been putting out for this month's Nick Jr. shows, there was a big spoiler for something. I'm not going to really mention it, because in case you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who may not want to see it, but let's just say there's an episode coming up that has a question that they have completely spoiled in a promo that isn't even a Blue's Clues promo, but just a Nick Jr. promo. They managed to spoil that completely. And the YouTube channel can really do you dirty sometimes. I remember specifically in the cases, well, in general, they will often put up the skidoo on YouTube before the episode comes out. But what they also sometimes do is they'll post clips of the ending, it just sometimes mixed in with other clips, sometimes just like on their own, and there have been cases where they will put up to like half the episode on YouTube before it premieres on TV. That was the case for both Blue Stock and Mystery of the Missing Pies, where for both of those episodes, before they premiered, there were up to 10 minutes of, episode footage put on, like, over the course of 2 clips on the channel. Which, I don't know how it seems to anyone like it's a good idea to post half of an entire episode on YouTube on a free platform before you put it on TV, where you're probably looking more for the ratings. I just don't see how that's good business practice at all. And again, I don't know who's in charge of it. I don't want to blame the Blue's Clues team, because I'm assuming they only have like a certain amount of control. And again, like, this is again the topic that's going to come up around this, is that kids probably don't care. And I've had that argument before. I've heard people say that. And that is a very fair point. A preschool level kid is probably not going to ever care about a spoiler, or even realize that it's a spoiler, or even be able to remember it by the time the episode comes out. But again, the issue is, I feel like just because a kid might not notice doesn't mean that you should take that risk anyways. Like, just because a kid might not realize that it's the answer in a promo, or might not care about like half the episode being uploaded on YouTube, that doesn't mean you should assume the same for every kid, and it doesn't feel like you should take that risk in general. Like, again, I always come back to, if I had a kids show, which, hopefully one day I would like to, if I had a kids show, I would never post that much footage before it premiered. Because the whole thing that I thought the Blue's Clues New YouTube channel is, but this whole thing is more targeted at the Blue's Clues New YouTube channel, even though it definitely has to do with the promos, but I mainly aim this at the Blue's Clues New YouTube channel, mainly because that's showing a lot more footage. But what I assumed that channel was going to be when it was first announced, I thought what it was going to be, was I thought episodes would premiere on TV, and then they would post clips from that episode as sort of like something that you could replay and rewatch on YouTube afterwards. Because that would be... Are we nitpicking about our favorite show with the puppy and the paw prints? Yes, we are, Blue Moon Productions. Hi. Welcome to the stream. I'm currently talking about the advertising and how much of the spoilers they post before episodes premiere. So you came into a very interesting conversation. But yeah, so I originally thought that the YouTube channel was going to be a place that they could, post clips from episodes that had already come out as a way so that kids can rewatch some of their favorite scenes on YouTube whenever they wanted. And, that sort of thing. It would be more of an archive of clips from an episode rather than promoting an upcoming episode. Because the way they're doing it right now is they're putting up big clips of episodes, and again, in some cases, half the episode before it comes out, which makes me feel like it could potentially make a kid lose interest in an episode. I mean, just because they've seen most of it prior to the episode. I know that's how it happens with me. Obviously, I'm a lot older, so I can remember this stuff more, and it matters more to someone who has that, amount of processing power. But I don't know. It really does bother me that they continue to go with this route of advertising. Because it's just a whole thing. It's just showing off too much. It's showing off these big spoilers that, like, could affect a kid's, interest in the show. If it were me who was in charge of the advertising, if I was able to control how they were to advertise, I have a couple rules. In terms of the on-TV promos, I say the rule is never show any clue in the episode if you can help it. Because why give any hints towards the answer in the promo? I feel like there are exceptions, but I feel like for the most part you should try to avoid it. Or if you are going to show any clues, only show one at the maximum. Because, again, you don't want to give anyone a chance to sort of try to figure it out before it comes out. Rule number 2, never show the ending. Never show the ending of an episode if it spoils the answer. There are times where the end of the episode doesn't entirely spoil what the answer is, but more often than not, the best rule is just don't show the ending of an episode. Don't show the answer because, again, that kind of ruins the game. I know in hide-and-seek promos, they would show the ending where they were hiding in the thinking chair. I know, I'm trying to remember other instances of it. I know with the birthday episode, they sort of showed off the freeze dance thing at the end of the episode. Again, they do this a lot. This happens a lot. And so yeah, so those are my 2 rules for the promos. Never show a clue if you can help it, or at least one of the maximum, and never show the ending, because you just shouldn't. As for the YouTube promos, I have a very specific setup that I would do with this. In fact, there was a point where I was so annoyed with the subject, as I tend to be, that I actually edited it myself to prove a point on a server. So my philosophy is that if you're gonna post clips before an episode, never let it be anything spoilery, obviously. Never show the answer. Never show the ending of an episode, because you never should. But the clip should be only a minute at longest, maybe a little longer if you can't help it, but the most it should be is a minute. And I think if you're gonna pull any clips from any part of the episode, it shouldn't be an activity. What I would do personally is that I would put 2 clips out before an episode premieres. The first clip would be the very beginning of the episode, sort of setting up the plot. The point of the episode where we find out what the game of Blue's Clues is, and Blue putting up the paw print. That's the part I would show up, because, and they actually did that with Neighborhood, what was that episode called? Our Neighborhood Adventure? Is that what it was called? I don't think that was, is that right? Maybe. But, no, yeah, when they did the Neighborhood episode, and I think they also did this with the treasure hunt episode, where they put up a clip that just sort of showed, opening the door, like just the very beginning up until the point where Blue puts down the paw print and we say, oh, this is what the game is. Because that's the perfect introduction, as a promo. It gets the idea across of what the theme of the episode is and what the game will be playing is without actually showing anything off. And the other type of clip I would do is the beginning of a skidoo. I would cut it off immediately before the actual, before the actual activity of the skidoo starts, but from the moment you skidoo in, it sets up the sort of activity that we're about to do, then they walk off screen to do whatever, and that's it. Like, my whole point is, if you're gonna show anything before an episode, it should be the setup, rather than the actual activity, or the answer, or any clues. Because that way, you get people enticed without actually showing anything too much off. You're still going to have a slight spoiler in the fact, of course, especially with the skidoo part, of what the skidoo will be, but at least you're not seeing the entire skidoo like they often post on the channel. It bothers me. And again, I say all this, and I know for a fact, most kids probably don't care. Most kids are probably not going to care. But again, I don't think that's much of an excuse at the end of the day to do it the way they're doing it. I feel like even if kids might not care, you should still always use those precautions, just in case. Because what if you're spoiling someone's fun? What if you're ruining it for someone? And especially with the way that they've, included Steve and Joe and try to market somewhat towards the older fans who are coming back to this series. It feels like if you're marketing towards those people, those fans, and trying to include references for them, you're making the show with them in mind, so you should also advertise with them in mind a little bit as well, as, as best you can, without spoiling their fun. But yeah, that's the majority of what I have to say on the whole advertising thing. What do you guys think? I'm very out of breath because that is a topic that I can ramble about for hours. Let's see. Hey buddy. Hey Gabe. Welcome to the party. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's Blake behind the account right now. Hey Blake. 100% agree. It wasn't too bad in season 1 where we had the remakes, but now that we're in 100% original territory, they gotta stop. That's totally fair. And yeah, and that's the thing. They posted, they would put up spoilery stuff in the beginning as well. And they would post these big clips. I know they would post some of the songs before the episodes would come out, like Colors Everywhere or the Planet song. But those didn't feel like as big a deal to me because they were in the original series. They still were spoilery, but at least they were like songs that already had far existed in the show. Although at the same time, that isn't much of an excuse for the newer generation coming into it, which you're also advertising for. So it's like a bit of it's difficult. I actually remember, in terms of spoiling stuff. So, I don't know if you guys, you probably do. When, the whole, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on YouTube, actually. When, the thing that started in 2020, the thing, the not good thing that happened in 2020 that's been going on till now? When that thing started, around the time that thing started, I remember Blue's Clues New was doing a thing where Josh was like filming at home, and they would do the thing where they would put it in between the episodes, like in between the commercials, like before, like it would be after it, like right as it goes to commercial and right before the show comes on again. They would have these little segments with Josh, and I remember like there were times where he would sing a song or few, and I remember it was the Colors Everywhere episode, and they did the thing where he sung a song before it cut back to the show. The song he sung was Colors Everywhere. And then it cuts back to the show where, like a half a minute to a minute later, they sing Colors Everywhere. Yeah, that was on the premiere of the episode too. So that was, like, I love the song as much as the next guy, but, like, if I'm watching an episode and you're about to premiere that song on the episode, maybe don't play the song right before it. It happens, but, Yeah, he sang it twice. Yeah, it was a very strange thing, to be sure. Yeah, I will say it's a bit annoying when they do that stuff like that for Ryan's Mystery Playdate. Oh my god, yes, they do that with that show too. They straight up spoil the playdates sometimes, and it's. How do you do a mystery show? A show that's built on mystery, like Blue's Clues or Ryan's Mystery Playdate. I can't stress enough that the show is called Ryan's Mystery Playdate. And they just decide, hey, let's just show off the answer. Again, I don't know how much these shows specifically have say in this, but, like... And I know they have to get their views somehow, but, like, come on. Like, especially with Ryan's Mystery Playdate, the whole premise of the show is, like, who is it going to be? It's a mystery! But then they'll show off sometimes the people, like, you'll be like, oh, well, this week in Ryan's Mystery Playdate, look at all these people that show up. It's like, why would you tell me that? I'm supposed to figure it out. Let's see. Online Playdates, yeah. Tuesday Blues Day, yeah, that was a thing. Let's see. I'm really into the show, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. Ryan's Mystery Playdate isn't, like, bad, but it's definitely not something I choose to watch. Yeah. That was the Nick Jr. scheduling team's fault. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. It's still definitely a bad mistake, but, like, I'm sure it definitely was an accident. I still can't believe it happened. Blue's Clues news on my TV now. I wonder what episode it will be. Place your bets in the comments. What episode is currently on my TV? I'm actually curious to see if anyone will get it right first. Oh, wow. I didn't actually expect it to be that episode. Alright, let's see. Let's see if anyone can get it. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to say about the spoilers. A lot of it is due to... Wait, did you say something prior, or did I mess up? I don't know. That's the thing I'm going to say about the spoilers. A lot of it is due to how things maybe run on the actual networks, not the Blue's Clues team themselves. Yeah, that's totally fair. I can 100% understand that. If it's like the network rather than the team. Because I feel like the team wouldn't do that. I'd like to hope anyways, but I'm sure they wouldn't. Let's see. Oh, I got to the part where people are guessing for the episode. Let's see. Periwinkle? It's not the Periwinkle episode. It's not the Periwinkle episode. Science with Blue? No. You're closer, though. Like, time-wise, you're closer. A lot closer. Our New Neighbor? Nope. It's not the new one. It's not a recent one, I'll even say. I'll go as far as to say it's not a recent episode. This is a good activity to do right now to rest my voice for the upcoming topics. What topic do we have next? Double check. Okay, cool. We got Mailtime next. But first I want to rest my voice and see if you guys can guess this episode, because my throat is on fire and I only have so much water. Meet Josh! You got it! Hudson got it. It is Meet Josh. I didn't think it would be Meet Josh, given the fact that that's like the first episode and I don't see them play it too often, but like, yeah. Rad. Oh, golly. Golly. Alright. Let me just double check. This definitely shows me how behind the stream is, too. Because you guys are still guessing, even though I already said what the answer is. Gotta love it. Gotta love that stream delay. Alright, let's see. Just double check a few things. Before I continue. There we go. Well, I wasn't expecting that, right? I wasn't expecting that. I really did not think they would be showing the first episode like that. But they do. They did. Alright. On to the next subject. We have Mailtime. So, Mailtime, is pretty much the same as it ever has been. And again, I mentioned this last time, to put any, theories to rest for, people complaining, and I'm not saying any of you, but, like, a lot of people who don't actually watch Blue's Clues much, seem to not know this, is that letters are still very well a thing. Letters still exist. Mailbox still comes around, whether it's a letter or an email. So people can calm the heck down. Because, yeah, people keep wanting to say that there's no letters. I've seen it on TikTok a bunch of times. There was actually once where someone made a TikTok about the fact that there was no letters, and that Mailbox was out of a job, and I left like a 3-part comment saying, actually, no, that's not the case. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. But, no, yeah, so the letters aspect of Mailtime is fine. I will say the slight nitpick that I have, which isn't even the nitpick I was planning to talk about, but letters are definitely shorter than they used to be. And I understand why they are, because obviously there's less time in each episode now, so they can't devote as much time as they used to letters. But they are definitely, they are less, they're less time. They're very short. But now they are also they're very much more highly produced. Like, a lot of the times the kids are on, like, a set or on a green screen. Or, it feels very, like, scripted. Not saying that the original ones may not have been scripted either, but, like, very scripted. Like, the original ones felt more like home movies. They felt like, they were, kids in real locations with, like, a semi-decent camera who were just, like, filming what they were doing that had to do with the episode. And it was very wholesome, and it felt like I was just watching some kid having fun, just like some, like, this is a whole movie. Nowadays, they're a kid on a set, which is not to say that they're bad necessarily, but they are definitely a bit lacking compared to the old ones. I definitely prefer the vibe of older letters, but they're all right. They're okay. I remember the biggest instance of this that I noticed, which was episode 3, which was it was Blue's. Was that episode 3 I'm thinking of? I think it was. It was Blue's Big News? I forget episode titles. That's what I do. Big News with Blue. That might have been it. But, there was the kid. All it was open up the letter. The kid was like, hey, Josh, I learned how to whistle. Bye. And that's all it was. And it was at that moment I realized, like, oh, letters are short now. Letters/emails are very, very short now. Adam says, do I have to bring up the Raspberry Fingers kid? The kid was interesting. I don't want to be mean, but that kid was interesting. And now my frame rate went down. Come on. There we go. Professional. But, yeah, the letters and emails right now are very minimal and very kind of highly produced. Again, it definitely feels a bit faker than the original ones just because they're on a set or they're on a green screen, which is fine. It's not a horrible thing, but it definitely doesn't have the same vibe that the old ones had. But that's not even the thing that I have to say about letters. Mailtime. The issue I have with Mailtime is that they've introduced emails, which I don't think is a bad idea, necessarily. I think now that we have the new technology of the handy-dandy notebook phone, it makes sense that they would want to do that, especially because more kids nowadays are going to be dealing with things like emails rather than actual letters. Because, unfortunately, letters are not really a thing people send anymore, like, regularly. Unless I just don't know. But, yeah, so kids are going to deal more with emails nowadays. And that's fine that they want to include that in the show. But my issue is they're too similar to letters. And when I say they're too similar to letters, I mean they're identical to letters. So here's the thing. Emails function the exact same as letters in every conceivable way. We still have to go to the thinking chair. We still have the Mailtime song. Mailbox, of course, still comes over, despite the fact that he has nothing to bring us. Again, no shade against Mailbox. I'm glad that he's still around for the email times, but, like, it's odd because it's like, why are you coming to tell us if we get a notification on our phone and you have nothing physical to bring us? It's odd. But, yeah, and the letters themselves, like the activities or, the contents of the letters, the video, is, again, exactly the same, which, I mean, that can't be helped, of course. But, yeah, it's all the same. It's all the exact same as the letters, which feels like, okay, you want to introduce this new thing to the show, but that doesn't really work if it's going to be the exact same function as the, already existing thing on the show. It feels like you're only including it more to update things without actually changing anything that, on the show. It's very strange. They rarely use the emails nowadays in episodes. That's very true. That's the other thing, is that not only are emails so identical, but they're also not even fully utilizing them because they are just not even around. We've gotten, I think, almost double the amount of mail times are dedicated to letters nowadays than emails. We still get the occasional email, but it's very rare. It's just they don't do it that often. And again, why would they? Because it's so similar. And with everyone complaining about Mailtime, they probably feel like they can't. So my biggest issue is that they're too similar to letters. So how would I change that? And I do have an answer to that, because I sort of have come up with a way that if I were in charge of the show, that I would change emails so that they would be different from letters and also serve a bit more of a purpose. So what's the difference immediately between normal emails and letters? Obviously, letters take a lot longer to get to where you are. Obviously, letters, you need to go to a specific place to retrieve them, like a mailbox. Whereas emails, you're a bit more free range, they're quicker, and you can get them anywhere. You can, as long as you have a device, you can get them basically anywhere. So I feel like that should be reflected in the show. I feel like if you're going to have an email pop up, don't make Josh run all the way to the living room to get it. Maybe he can just open it up right there. He has his phone all the time. He has it on the back of the notebook, which he always has. So, yeah, if you're going to have it be an email, make it act like an email. You don't need to go to the thinking chair. You can just see it pop up, boom, it's there. So that's the first change I would make. And so that, he can get them anywhere. So I'm getting lost in my thoughts. I'm trying to, I have so much to say about the emails, and, my voice is, giving out. But, let me just make sure. Okay, there. But, yeah, so step one, I would make it so that you can receive emails anywhere. You don't have to go back to the living room. You don't have to be in that room. And that will change. Already that changes it up so immensely, because it promotes this idea that you can get emails anywhere. And it's a bit of a sort of fresh thing, because you won't expect it. You won't know when you're going to get an email. It's just going to be wherever you are. It can be in a skidoo for all you know. It could be anywhere. But the biggest change that I would make is that I feel like the whole purpose that you should have to there being emails is to speed up the process. Again, emails are faster than letters, both, in content, in reading, in receiving. So I feel like that should be reflected in the show. I feel like, and this is going to be the controversial change that I would make, for emails, mailbox wouldn't be around. And maybe that's a big change. But for emails, you don't need a physical mailbox. In fact, in these emails in the show currently, you don't need mailbox. He's just showing up because he can. So I would have it so that you get them anywhere in the show. You don't have to be in the living room, and you wouldn't see mailbox. The mail song would maybe be a lot quicker. Maybe it would just be a sort of ringtone that would happen when you get the email. And, maybe it would just skip right to "we just got an email" rather than actually doing the full mail song. Then you would get the letter, or the email rather, and then boom, it'd be done. It would be a very streamlined, quicker process. So you would just be in the middle, you would just be getting done with an activity, or maybe you just found a clue, get a notification on the phone, sing "we just got an email," see the letter, you're done. It's so much quicker than the current letter process. And the thing that I think you could benefit from that is that if you want more time in an episode, and if the episode has a lot of things going on for it, and you want to extend a scene, or you want, it's a bigger episode, and you really want to dedicate more time to the plot of the episode rather than stopping to answer an email, or answer a letter, get a letter, you could do an email, because it would be a lot faster, a lot quicker. You're in, you're out, and you're done. And I think that would be a good benefit to the show, especially since they have less time than they used to. Having something where they can choose at certain times to cut down on time by giving Josh an email rather than a letter to be quicker and just make it a really fast process with no mail song, no mailbox, no big thing, just a quick thing. It would be quick. It would be nice and easy, and that way you can dedicate more time to certain episodes that you choose. But yeah, that's how I would change emails. Because again, they're way too similar now. They're the exact same length as getting a letter, which is just incorrect. That's just not how it works in real life, so why should it work that way in the show? Give the episode more time by shortening emails and using them more, efficiently. Using them during times where you want to extend an episode. And that way they have a purpose. And that way they're not just a different form of the same thing. But yeah, that's my idea for how I would change emails for Mailtime. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the whole Mailtime email situation and even of my idea? My voice is so tired. I feel like I'm talking without giving myself a chance to stop. So I feel exhausted. Let me see what you guys have been saying. I love you, Diddlebox. Oh, I love you too, viewer. Joseph's Classics video games. And I can't wait for the bc&y movie coming out. Yes. It's going to be so cool. By the way, I'm Joseph Haywood. Hi, Joseph. Hello. Oh, man. I hope they do more packages in the future. Yeah, they have packages, too. They should do those more. They've only done those the one time, I think, for Blue's Pajama Party, which was a nice moment. It was, I don't think it was necessary because we already had a blanket in that episode, but, it was nice. It was a nice moment. It was a nice switch up. Was that Pajama Party? That was Pajama Party, yeah, okay. What else we got here? Unless Mailbox is in charge of the Wi-Fi and that's why he knows that Josh is gonna get an email. That's fair. Remember he lied about giving Josh a letter? I remember that. That was episode 2, I believe. And I was really, really mad because Mailbox said that he had a letter and then it was an email. And I freaked out. I was so excited for it to be a letter again, just for it to suddenly be an email, and I was like, come on, people. You can't do that to me. Hey, Tech, did you ever mention your letter email theory on here yet? Oh, I remember what you're talking about. Oh, my earbud fell out. So what Mia's referring to is that I have a theory about how they do letters and emails in the current series. I feel like for every Mailtime segment, it feels like they record a version of it, one for email and one for letter. And the proof I have of that is, or I say proof, the evidence that I have for that, is that there was an Instagram post that Josh had done a while back where he had a letter in the background of the shot where which was a letter that hadn't been shown in the series yet with a stamp that seems like it was related to a certain episode that had an email, that all the episodes that could have been related to that stamp had emails for them. So my idea was that maybe that was used for a filming of a letter section that they just didn't use. So maybe what they do is that they record a version for both and they just choose which one they want to use during the editing process. Which may be the reason why, nowadays they've been choosing the letter one more often, and why we've been getting so many letters rather than emails, because maybe people have been complaining, because that's what a lot of people have been doing about the letter situation. But yeah. Sorry I missed half your stream, but happy October. Oh, no worries, person. I almost said dude, and I was like, is that correct? I should just say dude. Dude is pretty, everywhere. No, you're fine. You're fine, dude. You're here now. That's fine. Words are hard. I will say, speaking of packages, I still remember Josh saying something about emails and mail and packages, yet we've only gotten one package so far. Yeah, in fairness, there's only so much they can do in the realm of packages, because, that's something that feels like they can only, include so often. Packages should be utilized that way, too. I feel like they can do the same thing with packages as I say with emails, is that if they just make it that's a quicker process, use that correctly, and then you can extend an episode. If it had to stay similar, I'd switch it out for the email time song, like Joe's episode, Magenta's Messages, and Josh goes to the thinking chair without seeing mailbox. That's fair, too. Again, that would be quicker. Anything would be quicker. I want emails to be quicker. It feels like that makes sense. just to be a quicker process, because that's how emails are. And they can utilize that since they're already running out of time in certain episodes, and why some episodes tend to feel a little bit rushed. Or at least certain scenes can tend to. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, anything else that we got around here for the whole email situation? Whew. What is my next topic? I think I know. Yep, okay. We're getting to the end. We're getting to the end of it. We have 2 more subjects left, and then I can rest my voice. Oh my gosh. Let's see. It's funny because I was just streaming yesterday on Twitch, in fact, and I was like, "Oh, my voice is gonna get so tired." I remember how tired I was during the Blue's Clues thing, and when I did that stream, I wasn't nearly as tired. Despite the fact that I feel like I was doing a semi-equal amount of talking. But now I'm feeling that tiredness again from my voice. I think it's just because I ramble so much when it comes to analyzing things. We need to get Josh a stuffed animal. We do. Josh needs a stuffed animal. I'm surprised they haven't given him one yet. He probably will eventually have one, or maybe not even. I don't know. I feel like if they were going to, they would have already done it. But, I don't know. His stuffed animal is the guitar. Finally, with Mailtime. I wish the email boy would do more things, though. That's fair. What do you say? Like, the sort of... Yeah, because when they do emails, the little, like, email pops up with a face. And it's interesting that they've given him a face, considering that, like, he doesn't say or do anything. Which is odd. I don't know. Maybe they could incorporate that if they were to do, like, the email change like I said. I don't know. But, yeah. Like I said, I would do emails so differently. I would do so much differently with the show. Like, it would still be the same show, but I feel like I would change Mailtime up so much in terms of the emails. And, I would make another change, which we're about to get to in a second. I thought Josh's stuffy was going to be a giraffe based on that one promo we got for Blue's birthday. That's right. Wasn't there like a balloon giraffe he had there? That would have... See, they could have incorporated that and given him a plush one afterwards. They should have. They really should have. It'd be nice. Maybe eventually he'll have a plush. I don't know. Oh, my. I still can't believe that Getting Healthy with Blue was only released on DVD, but not on TV. Yeah, that connects to the thing that I was mentioning earlier about, like, the thing that started in 2020, like, the big thing. They probably don't want to put out media of, like, a character getting sick when there's a thing going around right now, so I understand it a lot. A giraffe named Doris. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. Like for the emails, they talk to Email Boy, and for letters, they see Mailbox. That would actually work. That'd actually be pretty cool. I mean, if they're gonna give the emails a face, they might as well. Maybe instead of, like, the Mailbox app, maybe they could have, like, Email Boy be the face of the app, and then he says something like, "Oh, hey, I got an email," and then he pops out. Like, that could be the thing. But they don't. They don't do that yet. If I was hired, I would change Mailtime. I always say, like, if I was hired, this is what I would change, but I would never be hired in a position where I could change that. I wish, but no. I have ideas. Maybe they'll see this stream and be like, maybe in a future season we should change that. They could. Nothing's impossible, I suppose. But yeah, alright. One more sip of water, and then we shall move on to the next subject. My voice is so exhausted. Let me just double check the thing. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, next subject is the notebook variants. So, what I mean by notebook variants are the times in the show where the notebook will change in appearance in order to fit better to, like, a specific theme of the episode. This happened I don't know if I should say often in the original show. It definitely happened occasionally, I'll say. It was a once in a while thing that there would be this big change to the notebook. I have some examples I can show in a moment if I can get it set up properly. With a very interesting frame of Steve to start out with. But let me make sure all my stuff's right. So yes, so we have things like Steve being very excited about the treasure hunt notebook. We have the winter notebook for Blue's Big Holiday. We have the nature notebook for nature. We have the car notebook for Blue's Big Car Trip, and the pillow notebook for Bedtime Business. These notebooks would change so drastically to fit these themes of the episode. And as you can see, they really change in form. Like this one's basically plush. This one, the thinking chair becomes a car. This one, thinking chair becomes the thinking rock, as well as the crayon is actually substituted for what seems like a pencil made out of like it was a very raw tree look. This obviously they give a gift, and I think it has like a little shaker in there, and the snowflakes and the color changes, and of course here the thinking chair turns into a treasure chest for the treasure hunt. So as you can see in the original show, these were these big changes that they would make to these notebooks, these big aesthetic changes that would really change things. And in the new era, in Blue's Clues New, it feels like the notebook variations can be a bit lacking. A little bit, I don't want to go as far as to say bland. I see someone that, Ryan said bland. I do, it's not incorrect, but so let's look at a couple of these notebook variations, because they start, like, some of them are pretty good. Some of them are okay, and then some of them I tend to take a little bit of issue with. So this is a really nice notebook variation. This might be one of the best we've had. The background color changes to just the blue, and then stars are added. It's a very big aesthetic change for the notebook that it's very nice. It's really nice. Then we go on to this one for the superhero episode where they put a cape on the notebook. Not the biggest change, but something that's really fun. Like I really like that change a lot. We move on to the treasure hunt notebook, and this is where we start to turn into the notebook changes that get a bit simpler, because as you can see, this one is majority the original notebook with just a hat on the thinking chair, but at least the stripes are sparkly. We then move on to the nature notebook, or the spring notebook, where it is just basically the normal notebook with some flower stickers. And then we get to this notebook. This was for the rainy day rainbow episode. So this is the point where I really kind of lost it with the notebook variations. Because here's the thing. It's different from the normal notebook, but really only in the fact that they've just, slapped on an umbrella sticker onto the normal notebook. And this is what qualifies in this episode as a notebook variation. And, I don't love it. There's a part of me that, thinks that, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this. It's not as much as they could have done, and it's definitely not as much as I expect out of your typical notebook variation. I mean, again, even this was like a little bit less so, but there at least was a lot of flowers on there, and it looked very visually nice, so it's fine. But this is where it was like, okay, it's just the thinking chair and an umbrella, and that's about it for this notebook variation. So yeah, I'm not a fan of some of these. The issue that tends to happen with a lot of these notebook variations in recent episodes is just the fact that they're a little too simple. At the end of the day, unlike some of the bigger notebook variations of the original show, there are less color changes and less, huge changes. It's more like they're just adding one little new image on top of the already normal notebook, which I just feel is not as much as they could do or really should do. Because again, in the original, they would change out the thinking chair for a treasure chest, but in this one, it's still the thinking chair, but with a hat. They would make these big changes. Again, they would change the thinking chair for like a car, but, now it's just a sticker, and it's just not as much as I wish it was. The original show really set up my expectations for these notebook variations, and it feels like they should be able to do that, because at the end of the day, like, they have the budget for it. This is obviously a very big show. They're making a movie, for goodness sakes. They have, like, several seasons, like, already greenlit. It's like, they have the ability to make these things, and we know that they can make props. We've seen these big, interesting props that they've done before on the show. And again, even with the Nighttime Notebook, we see that they have been willing before to change out the back cover. So it's like, they can do interesting variations if they were to choose to, but they're currently choosing not to. And I have some theories on that. I think one might just be that they want to keep the notebook recognizable for children. Maybe in the original series, kids were very off-put by different notebooks and the bigger color changes or image changes, and maybe it became less recognizable, especially in the toys. So maybe in the new series, they wanted to keep the changes minimal so that kids would still be able to be like, oh, that's still the notebook with just a little extra thing on it. And maybe it might even make it easier in the future if they decide to make toys based on these variations. It might be easier to make if the notebooks look more similar to each other rather than if they look different. But nonetheless, even though that is a very valid reason, I don't love this new direction. And again, I think the issue is that they present them as their big changes. They present them as like, oh, side table changed the notebook, but it's just a sticker. But they're like, whoa, it's a new thing. And I feel like that's the issue, especially, again, with the original show to compare to. These notebook variations aren't as interesting as those. They're definitely more minimal changes, so it feels weird to build them up or get too excited about them, especially when one of them is really just an umbrella. So, and again, let me just clarify, none of these are necessarily bad notebook variations. The umbrella one is definitely not one that I think is great. If any of them were bad, I would say that is definitely a bit bottom of the barrel. And again, it's not horrible. There's obviously, like, there's only so much you can do for, like, a rainy episode for, like, a notebook, but, like, that is just not my favorite notebook. But I don't think any of them are bad, necessarily. Like, fully, like, horrible. I don't think any of them are, like, too bad. Again, the umbrella is one thing, but I think, again, the issue is the fact that they're presenting them as a bigger thing, and that you expect a notebook variation, but instead it's just a sticker. So if I were to make a change to the show, what I would do is, instead of Josh, at least for these ones, like, some of them I still think they should do bigger notebook variations, first of all. I think they should step up the game in certain areas for certain, maybe bigger episodes, like they did with the original, by changing out aspects of it more drastically than they currently do. But in terms of the notebooks that they're currently doing right now, if they are going to stick with this sort of sticker aspect, just sort of adding a little image onto the existing notebook, I would have Josh receive the notebook as just the notebook. Just plain notebook, and that's it. And then maybe, instead of receiving it as the finished product, maybe on some episodes when there's going to be that notebook variation that is just sort of a sticker, maybe instead he gets the notebook as it's normal and decides, hey, since today we're going to be doing this, since today, we're going outside, or since today there's a treasure hunt, or since today it's going to be a rainy day, maybe and then he, like, reaches into his pocket, maybe he has a sticker, and he puts it on the notebook, and there we go. That's the new notebook variation. And it doesn't really fix anything design-wise. It would still be the same as it currently is, but it adds a new context to it. It sort of changes it from being this big new thing that he's received and changes it into him customizing something that he has for the day. Which I feel like some kids might be able to identify with, and might be something that would be fun to encourage kids to do, to decorate their stuff for the day. Or, like, they could put out sticker sets along with notebook toys, and then a kid can, like, take out a sticker that revolves around what they're doing that day and put it on the notebook for the day. I feel like recontextualizing it to a sticker, to something more simple that Josh is choosing to do from getting the normal notebook, it would lower the expectations, but also make it just a fun little twist that, like, it would be less of a letdown because it's just, okay, Josh is adding a sticker to the notebook that we didn't expect him to put on there. It's not like we pull out a notebook, it's just that, and it's like, oh my god. So, and I think that would just be a fun addition to Josh's character. Just the whole sticker thing, I think that would just be a fun twist for him. That would differentiate him from the other hosts just a little bit more, as that's always a good thing to do for the new hosts. But yeah, I just really like that idea, because, yeah, I just think that would help so much. I wouldn't feel as bad about something like just an umbrella sticker on a notebook if he just got the normal notebook and then pulled out a sticker and was like, boom, there we go, that's my customization for the day. Because at least then it's just like a sticker. You know it's a sticker, and you know it's something that's a lot simpler, so you know your expectations are lowered. And I think that's what you need for some of these notebook designs that they're doing lately for the variations. Again, I don't think any of them are bad. I just think that because of high expectations and because of how simple they are in contrast to the originals, I feel like you need a different context in order for them to be, I don't want to say acceptable, but in order for them to be a bit easier accepted by people like me who are very, very hard to please in certain areas. And again, it encourages kids to have a little fun with stickers and, you know, customize certain things. And it's another new product that they could add to the, you know, the stores. But yeah, so that's my take on notebook variations and how I would change them. What do you guys think? That's my favorite change, honestly, that I would change for Blue's Clues, because I think it's the one that would be the least controversial. It's not like the Mailtime thing where it's like changing a lot of what is very established. This just changes a very small thing. That's something that you could really slip in and it wouldn't take up too much time. Whew, but yeah, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? And then we'll get on to our final subject of the day. Like color forms in a way. Yeah, very true, very true. That would definitely work. I don't really know much about color forms. I'm only assuming, just based on what I've heard, but basically, yes. Not ND related, but I just remembered because Kevin wasn't switched out, they had side table give him the thinking chair notebook and change the square shirt instead. That's right. They really had to suddenly change Kevin's whole situation to adjust for the fact that there wasn't a new host, but there was a new look. As cool as some variants can be, some are a bit pointless and feel like they don't need to be there. That is definitely fair. Again, the umbrella notebook is definitely one that I would consider. And I don't mean to, you know, poo-poo on that so much, but it just feels so unnecessary to me. And again, if Josh had put that on as a sticker, I wouldn't be complaining. Also, wait, can I mention something? I'm gonna go on a little mini rant too for a minute. Can we talk about this notebook? Can we talk about this cookie notebook that they didn't utilize? Here's the thing. This was in the baking episode, and Josh pulls out this cookie notebook as if that's going to be the notebook that we're using today. And then he does to play Blue's Clues using this cookie notebook the whole time. Like, that's the one that he keeps referencing. But then when the first clue hits, he pulls out the cookie notebook. I'm like, oh my god, are we going through with this? And then he puts it away and gets out the normal notebook. And I just thought that was a severely missed opportunity. Because there was a real part of me that was assuming and that was hoping that he would pull out the cookie notebook, flip it over, pull out like an icing bag, and draw the clue on with icing. And then at like the end of the episode, they could he could draw a different one on each cookie, like the clues. And then at the end of the episode, there could be a plate of cookies that would be the notebook, like with the clues. I just wish they went that extra mile. I really do. Because they really set it up. They did it to play Blue's Clues with the cookie thing. And it wasn't like with the potato where I was like, okay, of course they're not going to do it. Like, obviously, like, this felt like they were doing something. And even if not, like, going back to the notebook variations that we have right now and how simple they are, this would have been a great notebook variation. Imagine if it was just like the normal notebook, but like that was the cover. That's totally something that would fit in line with the notebook variations of the past. Like, that's not too far off from, like, the pillow notebook or, like, you know, the gold notebook or something like, you know, the car notebook, where it's just, like, completely changing the form. Like, it'd be so good. I really wish they would have went with that, whether icing or not. Like, I really wish they would have kept that aesthetic, because it's so cute. It's so good. And it was so disappointing to see that just not get used. But, yeah. Let's see. The cookie notebook's a thing now? Yeah. Christine Walsh made one. I didn't even know that. Let's see. Variants that I like from Blue's Clues and New are the nighttime one, the treasure hunt one, and the Christmas one. I didn't even remember they had a Christmas one. Why don't I remember that? I'm gonna look at the Christmas one real fast. Blue's Clues and New Christmas notebook. I don't remember what the Christmas notebook looked like. Oh, that's why. Okay. The Christmas notebook was like, like with the hat on the chair. I nitpick about the notebook variations. I don't like when they put a hat on the chair. I don't know why. It bothers me. Again, it's not horrible. It's still pretty cute. But like, there's something that bothers me about that, because it's just like, it just feels like, again, it's the sticker effect. It's the whole like, oh, putting a sticker on the notebook and that being it. What about the heart notebook from Love Day? The new version? Yeah, well, I forget how many notebook variations this new version has had. I really do. Again, I think that was just heart stickers. Now I have to look it up. Blue's Clues and New Love Day. And I call myself an expert. I really do. And then here we are. Okay, yeah. The hearts. Okay, yeah. Again, not a bad notebook, but again, it's that sticker thing that I really wish that they would contextualize in the show. But yeah, I really do. The OG version. Oh, that's what you were talking about. No, the OG version is really good. I forgot about that one, actually. Yeah, I like that one. I like that notebook. I don't like that episode, but I like that notebook. It was a very nice notebook. Again, not a big fan of the original Love Day. The original Love Day is one of my least favorite episodes of Blue's Clues, if I'm perfectly honest, along with Skidoo Adventure. I much prefer the new Love Day episode in Blue's Clues and You. That was a really well done episode, I think. Much better done. The Skidoo was nice. That's about as much as I remember about it currently. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it. Oh, they had the card section of that episode. That was nice. They had very good activities in that one. They really did. Alright. Whew. How long have we been going? Okay, wow. It's not even 2 hours yet, and we're about to go into our final subject. Ooh. Maybe this one will be less than 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not saying that it has to be. Skidoo Adventure equals worst season 6 episode. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I don't want to be too harsh to Blue's Clues in public, but if I may talk about Skidoo Adventure for a moment. First of all, I feel like any episode that doesn't have Blue's Clues is always kind of a like minus points. They technically did do a Blue's Clues-esque game. They were finding, letters, and, to spell out the word, which is similar to what they've done in the past anyways. But, yeah, that episode, it was an interesting concept. I love the concept of that episode of getting trapped in a skidoo. But the lack of Blue's Clues as a game, again, they still did a similar thing, but with the lack of Blue's Clues as a game, plus the soundtrack of the episode. The soundtrack of that episode was like pure synth, like digital synth, and it was a bit grating on the ears. And I don't know, the activities kind of were a little boring in that episode. That one's not bad compared to Joe's. I basically like that one more than Joe's. Really? More than Josh's, rather. Yeah, no, that's fair. They didn't play Blue's Clues at all. I know. They didn't in that episode. A Blue's Clues episode without Blue's Clues feels like that's doing something wrong. Like, to me. The one thing I love about the OG Love Day notebook is that it was hard to notice if the crayon wrapper had hearts or just the regular green squares as well. I actually don't know if I've ever paid attention to the crayon of that episode. It might have hearts. Is it weird I'd like a new way to have you be a clue other than the paw print on the screen? I don't know why, probably because it's too similar to the start of the game of Blue's Clues. No, that's a fair point, actually. That is actually a very fair point, that the clue being on you, the viewer, is very similar to the paw print in the beginning of the episode, so it's kind of strange. I will say they do differentiate it a little bit by having the paw print be more off-screen when it's you, the clue, rather than it being, like, usually it'll be on, like, the bottom half of the screen, rather than, the full screen paw print, but, for the beginning of the episode, but I see what you mean. I don't know how they would do a clue that's us without it being on screen, but, I see what you mean, though. I really do. That's actually something I never thought about before. Alongside Joe's clues. Come on, Blue's Clues New, make it happen. Yes. We need Josh's clues, we really do. Legend of the Blue Puppy doesn't have Blue's Clues in it. That's right. And that's why that episode bores me greatly. That episode had a good gimmick, but the episode up until the episode up until the Blues Room part was very boring. Again, I don't want to be too mean, but again, any episode that doesn't have Blues Clues as a game kind of tends to drag on in certain points, because it's like you come for that game and to play that game, but then when it's not there, the episode feels very empty without it. Especially when, unlike Skidoo Adventure, again, this is the one time I'll defend Skidoo Adventure, unlike Skidoo Adventure, there wasn't a game at all. We weren't looking for anything to come up with an answer. It was just, we were looking for a key. That also introduced Blues Room, which is my other issue with that. Again, I don't want to hate on Blues Room. Blues Room, I'm trying to think of something nice to say. Blues Room was a very interesting idea. It was a very interesting gimmick. It's not my favorite thing, personally. But, it wasn't horrible. I just had a vendetta against it because, I'm more into animation as a whole, and I also just I was salty that it took time out of normal Blue's Clues episodes. That's why season 6 episodes felt so rushed, because they were making time for the other segment. But yeah, the locks were supposed to be the clues. I mean, fair. I suppose. Like, I can see the validity in that. Blue draws a picture of you and puts a clue on it? Maybe. Honestly, that could work. That would actually be quite adorable. Imagine if Blue drew a picture of, like, Josh, Blue, and then, like, you in the middle. Like, however she would draw you, and then the clue would be on that. That'd be adorable, actually. Oh my gosh. You think the box for Blue's Room could be used like a skidoo, or does Muna have to be there all the time? I think that the box can be used just as a skidoo, but I think Muna's there to change Blue from animation to puppetry. Because if you notice, never in any other skidoo does, like, someone change, does their appearance change, is what I'm trying to say. Skidoos never lead to an appearance change any other time except for with Blue's Room. And that's further, like, sort of supported by the fact that in Meet Blue's Baby Brother, no one in that, episode but Blue is changed to a puppet. Everyone else is shown still in their animated forms. So my theory is that, like, the skidoo has nothing to do with Blue turning into a puppet. It's Muna doing it. That's the only part that Muna has to play in that, just so that she can fit into that world. Because, yeah, in any other episode, we've, Josh and Steve and Joe have all skidooed into locations of different materials, like felt, the felt frame and other books and such like that. But, they never changed material. Tell them about your Blues Room theory. What was my Blues Room theory? Wasn't that the... I don't... Oh! My Blues Room theory. Oh, my Blues Room theory was that Blue can... Well, it sort of ties into the skidoo talk that I was just talking about. that Blue can exist in Blue's room in animated form. Because, again, it's not the Skidoo that changes her, it's Muna. Blue... Because if you look at the intro to Season 6, before Blue goes back to, Skidoo's into the book in the intro, Muna turns her back into actual Blue. So, the world of Blue's room doesn't change Blue from, animation to puppetry. It's Muna. So if Muna didn't do that, Blue could easily be in that world while still being animated. What else we got? How would Mailbox Skidoo, though? I think he can move around on his post. I think his post is not planted into the ground. And I know that sounds silly, but that's the only way I can explain it. That's the only way I can explain any time Mailbox isn't where he's supposed to be. Or, is stretched somewhere that, he couldn't possibly be from. He has to be able to move that post. He can hop around on it. He has to. There's no other explanation in my mind. Because how the heck did he get into Blue's room? He didn't skidoo through the frame, through extendo arm, and, it doesn't work. Even if you think about it, Mailtime can't possibly work if Mailbox is still in the front of the house. Because you go into the door and the thinking chair is on that back wall, which means he's coming through the other window, which is in the back of the house. So, Blue's Clues logic, it's strange. But, anything else? That's why Season 6 is my least favorite season, because of how rushed the episodes just to spare Blue's room time. Yeah, that's my complaint about Season 6 too. It's horribly rushed just to make time for the new segment, which I understand they had to, but I don't like that. I am running low on water. I'm 2 sips away from being done with it. So I should probably get on to my last subject. Alright, last subject for today, for this review of Blue's Clues and You, the final part for this review. My last subject is continuity. This is an interesting subject when it comes to a kid's show, because a lot of times it feels like kids shows don't care about continuity. Which is fair. Kids are most likely never going to know. But there are some issues with continuity in this show. Let me see if I can even think of some of them. Well, first of all, the main thing about this, I might need to be reminded about this in the comments, because the main one that's coming to my mind was Turquoise. Here's the thing about Turquoise. Turquoise was given to Blue on Blue's birthday in the original series. In the new series, Blue had received Turquoise on her birthday, her new birthday, with Josh. Same turtle, and I'm confused. So, yeah, the thing is that Angela and the team, they wanted to redo certain episodes of Blue's Clues, obviously remakes for Season 1, to recapture and and update the original episodes of the show. I'm assuming as a testing grounds to sort of get people interested while, replaying the old hits, and just because they wanted to do it. Which is fair, because it's, the show is their baby, and they wanted to show off some of the better episodes, some of the, classic episodes, and redo some of those moments, which is fair. Although, it does mess up the continuity, because clearly the show has established that the past episodes of Blue's Clues have happened. That has been sort of confirmed through many mediums. One, the fact that Steve and Joe know us and have referenced the fact that we used to help them, of course. If you look in Steve's office, his detective office, there are pages of clues from the original show, from his episodes on the back. There's the sticker book that Mailbox received on his birthday in the original show that he references in the new one, and all this sort of stuff. There's a lot of references to the original show. Turquoise was in the show before Blue had received Turquoise in the show. In 2 ways. 1, Turquoise was in the original show. 2, Turquoise appeared in an episode of Blue's Clues and You before Blue's birthday. So that was a scheduling problem mainly, so I'm not going to harp on that one too much, although that is quite a big mistake. But, I think the original Turquoise died since the original one is from the 90s, so I don't think Turquoise would have been alive in 2021. That's fair, but Yeah, actually, the music video confirms both the originals and remakes happened. Yeah, that's true. It's confirmed both the originals and remakes happened. Yeah, so, like, the issue is, how does Turquoise, like, they act as if Turquoise never existed. It feels like someone should have known that Turquoise existed, but that was never really a thing. And then Turquoise was re-gifted to Blue. And it bothers, it's a weird thing, and I just remember the other example of this happening. The other example of continuity error is Magenta's glasses. Magenta's glasses, she originally, we touched upon this earlier, but yeah, Magenta got glasses in the original show. And then in the new show, suddenly she didn't have them again. Which is strange, maybe she didn't need them anymore, maybe she was wearing contacts, but then she needed glasses again. And they sort of had implied in that episode that that was the first time she was getting glasses. Which is confusing, because not only did they imply that she was getting glasses for the first time, but also the very first episode of Blue's Clues New, Steve had sort of made a random comment that Magenta looked great, which sort of implied that, like, oh, she looks different because she doesn't have her glasses anymore. So it's these little things. It's these little strange things, these little moments of continuity errors that can tend to bother a fan like me, or a fan like anyone that's an older fan of the show who has seen the original show, because they're acting as if certain events didn't happen in order to redo them again, while also acknowledging that the original show happened. So it's this weird thing where they're trying to retcon things. Periwinkle, yes, that's also true. Periwinkle in the original show. Obviously, Periwinkle was introduced in the original show. He came in season 3, I believe, and became a very relevant character throughout Joe's era. And then now, Periwinkle did not exist in the show up until this latest episode, and has been introduced as a brand new friend that Blue had no idea about. Again, while trying to also say that the original show happened. So it's very confusing at times, and it's something that bothers me. And again, kids aren't going to know this a lot of the time. You know, obviously we're not the demographic. You know, the demographic is this new audience. But the issue with even saying that is the fact that even though the show is being made for the new viewers, they're also trying very hard to reference old things and incorporate the original show, which is why it feels very strange that that they, you know, it's weird that they want to sort of have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to reference the original show and say that happened in this completely, like, concise timeline, while also redoing things that had already happened in that timeline, and sort of confusing things and rewriting, like, episodes of, like, past of history, just so that they can redo these things again. Perry could have moved to a different city and then moved again. Potentially, but that doesn't explain why everyone else in the show doesn't know who Periwinkle is either. So that's the issue. It's not like they were like, oh, like, Periwinkle's back. It's, oh, like, there's this new person. There's this new cat in town. So there's a lot like that. And, like, again, at the end of the day, I totally understand why they did these things. Obviously, they really wanted to redo these things for the new kids, for the new, generation who are watching. But there's a part of me that also feels like it doesn't excuse the fact that you're trying to create this timeline of the show and say that this happened, this happened, this happened, from the original show, while also at the same time saying that, oh, but this part didn't happen until now. It's very strange to me. You can even throw Blue's room in the mix here, just saying the idea of that, like, okay, Blue got a baby brother. Where did Sprinkles go? What, did she abandon Sprinkles? Is he still in Blue's room? I don't know. It's very strange that they established this history that the show had from the original, but also saying that certain things didn't happen yet, or just didn't happen at all. Completely rewriting or, retconning things. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. Again, like, it bothers me at times when, I have to come to terms sometimes that, again, this is a kid's show, so obviously continuity is not going to be the first thing on their minds, all the time. And again, with, the kids who are watching this, obviously, like, it's not going to be a big deal. But it is still strange. And I think I don't want to go even as far as to say it's a real issue, but it's something that it feels, odd as an older fan, which again, they do seem to be trying to market towards these older fans now, in terms of like bringing back the original host and having these moments and, like having these references that only original fans would even know. So it's weird that they try to market it towards them while also saying, oh, this didn't happen until now. It's a weird thing that I feel like only is going to matter to a certain amount of people, and at the end of the day, it's something that we need to get over, to be fair, and something I'm trying to get over better, but, it is odd at times. Hey Dave, hello. What if Sprinkles got older during the bc&y timeline? He could have. If he comes back, he might. But, yeah. The problem is that they have moments of continuity that makes it look like these events happened in the past, but have specific moments be repeated again. That's exactly the thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's very strange that they would do that. Like, why is it that certain things happened in this timeline, but then certain things didn't? Why does Mailbox have a stamp book from season 1, but Periwinkle never moved to town? It's... yeah. At the end of the day, continuity only matters a certain amount. And I feel like in a show like this, it's something that we have to accept, that at the end of the day, the continuity is only going to matter about 50%. And that's okay. At the end of the day, it doesn't need to matter that much. The show is very simple. It's not a very heavily story-based show, so I think they can get away with it. Of course, it's going to bother the older fans like us, but, I mean, that's the extent of it. I feel like we can't always get caught up in stuff like that. If this was a bigger show with a bigger story to it, then maybe there's more of an issue to take with it. But the stamp book was from season 2. I thought it was from season 1. Really? Maybe it was. I don't know. Either way, though. But, yeah, I just wish that they could keep continuity, but at the same time, I can understand why they don't. But, yes, that's the last subject. Wrapping up before I fully go back to the chat and just chat with you guys for the remainder of the stream. Despite all these nitpicks that I have, despite everything that I've said in the stream, I still love this show. And that's the thing I always want to go back to. So, even though this show has things that I think it could do better, or I think it could do different, or things I would change, or things that, always, tend to seem a bit odd or off at times, I still think that's, that doesn't impact my view of the show overall. At the end of the day, I love this show so much, and I think that the people working behind the show are doing really well, and I think, sometimes certain mistakes slip by, certain things can tend to happen, and, I don't think it's a huge problem. I think it's something that they should be able to fix over time, and I do hope that they do. But at the same time, I think they're doing a really great job with what they're doing. Again, a lot of the complaints that I have are things that kids wouldn't notice anyways, so at least for their target demographic, they're doing very well. But yes, if any of the cast and crew are watching, I think you're doing a great job. I think maybe certain things can be tweaked, but I think for the most part, you guys are doing amazing. And the show is still amazing, and no matter any issue that I may have with it that I've outlined in this stream, I still love the show, and I'm still going to keep watching the show no matter what. So, yeah, and I still recommend it to everyone, despite these issues that I have, I still think it's amazing, and I still think the show is very perfect in its own way. So, yes, that's the main thing I wanted to say, that no matter any issue I have with the show, no matter things I think it could be changed, I think it's amazing. I think it's a great show, and I think you're doing great, so yeah. Alright, that's my little wrap-up. To the chat, what do you guys think? Yeah. Continuity does bother me a bit, but honestly, it's gotten to the point where I've kind of accepted it. Same. It bothers me, but, I can get past it at times. At times, I can get past it in general. Adam said introduced in season 1, came back in season 2, I'm assuming, for the stamp book. Now, one question that I don't think anyone has ever asked, how do you feel about the season 3 changing up the set a little. Perry's house being removed. That's right. So, for those who don't know, in the new episode of Blue's Clues New with Periwinkle, what am I thinking? Periwinkle's house is usually able to be seen in the back window in the living room shot, but now it's been changed out for a different house when Periwinkle came back. And I think, obviously that's because, it wouldn't make so much sense if they went next door to see Periwinkle's house, but it could also still be seen from the back window. And that is weird. I don't think it's going to change consistently, though. I think by next episode, Periwinkle's house will still be back there. I think they might only change that out whenever Periwinkle's house is going to be relevant to an episode. Personally, just because I don't imagine that this new house is going to stick around during all episodes. As much as it doesn't matter too much, I think Perry's house looks a lot better in that window. And I think they think so too, just because that's been the norm for so long. So, yeah, I think they're going to switch that out depending on the episode. You're awesome. Thank you. I still love the show too, yes. Periwinkle came back, yes. Were you excited that Periwinkle came back? Very. It was nice to see that character come back, because, I loved Perry in the original show very, very much. So to see him come back, and to see them finally acknowledge him after so long was very nice. Like, seeing that initial promo with him was like, oh my god. Despite the nitpicks made here, I still love the show, and I hope it goes on for a long time. Same. I think the show really has the staying power. Like, I think it really does. I think the show can go on for many, many seasons. Even if eventually they switch out the host again, I think the show can last for years. I really do. And I really hope it does. Will there be a new neighbor in that new house as well? Probably not, because that house is just in the background. So I think that one is just going to be just far in the background. Like, just there to make more sense instead of Perry's house. Where's his friend Plum? His friend Plum is written out of existence. I hate to say it, I don't think Plum's coming back. Or, well, no. I think Plum could come back. I think they could reference Plum and have him come back. I don't think he's going to be Perry's best friend like he, now that Rainbow Puppy's here. But I think that they could bring back Plum. Maybe he can even be in the city that Periwinkle is in if we ever go back to that location. So, yeah. I'd rather have a generally great show with these nitpicks than just a generally awful show. Very fair. That's definitely a good point. Like, yeah. And that's the thing, like, despite all these nitpicks, the show is still amazing. So it's not like these nitpicks ruin the show. These are just, like, little issues that, it may impact some people's view, but for me, I think it's great. Like, I'd rather these issues never get resolved than if it were just a bad show overall. Here's a good question to wrap things up. How much has Blue's Clues meant to you over the years? Would you say it changed your life in one way or another? And if so, how? Very interesting question. I need to put this bottle down because I'm, like, playing with it and I don't know if it's coming up on the mic much. But, how much has Blue's Clues meant to me over the years? It's meant a lot. Blue's Clues is a show that I never grew out of. It's the kid show that I've been watching for years. I watched it since I was a child. It came out in, my birth year. So, I have a special connection to it. I grew up alongside the show. It's an amazing show. It's always been a comfort to me. It's something that I always go back to. Even when there are times that I've, like, not been super, active within the show, like, for a while up until the reboot, I still love it. I really do. And it means a lot to me. It has changed my life. Obviously, it's gotten me a lot of views here on YouTube. It's been a wonderful thing for me to, like, get into reviewing and, being a bit of a critic myself. And it's inspired me in drawing. It's, I've met friends from it and have a server for it. It's a private server before anyone asks. But, yeah. It's changed my life a lot. It's done a lot for me. It's kind of weird how the original plush toy of Periwinkle doesn't look like Periwinkle from the original show. But the new Periwinkle plush looks like the one. Yeah. Again, original products were not that great for Blue's Clues all the time. Periwinkle's plushes, they never got right. Now, it looks amazing. What's your favorite Blue's Clues Humongous Entertainment game? Ooh. It's so hard to choose between the treasure hunt one and the birthday one, because I played those both a lot as a kid. I'd probably go with the treasure hunt one, because it felt like there was a bit more to do in that one, and there were some more features to that there weren't in the Blue's Clues birthday game. But I loved them both. I played those so much throughout my childhood. What's your most favorite object from the original show? Ooh, that's a very interesting question. The notebook, the letters, what? That's fascinating. I have a couple favorite objects, honestly. I love the notebooks all the time. I do. Josh's notebook is very nice. I love the thinking chair. Does that count as an object? I guess. I love the thinking chair so much. I love the yellow frame. That's so classic to me. I want one so bad. I want the yellow frame more than most things. I had one. This is a random object. I don't know if anyone's gonna know what I'm talking about, but if anyone remembers like the one-man band toy from the original show, it's not in the new one, I don't think. But you know the toy in the show that it was like a drum on its side with like a little face, and they like had the symbol and like. You remember that toy? You know what I'm talking about? I loved that thing. I always wanted one of those. Those are really cool. And I love Horace. Horace is adorable. I love Boris too. I love them both. I love a lot of objects. What do we got? I like this became a Blue's Clues Q&A. Feel free to ask me questions about Blue's Clues. Why not? Let's see. Let's see. What was your reaction when Periwinkle said his line when he was doing magic? I got so excited. I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, he said the thing! Ah! Oh, it was so good. I got another... Oh god, questions are coming in. Okay, hold on, wait. Or there were comments at least. I got another question. Do you plan on doing a review of the movie when it comes out? I might just. If it's not like a video, it might be another live stream. Honestly, I kind of like doing live streams for this type of thing. It's actually very fun. I hope you guys are having fun too. It's interesting. It's nice to be able to do this in a loose format, that I can interact with you guys, and you guys can remind me of things that I forget to talk about, that I may have forgotten to talk about if not for seeing those comments. So I might do this sort of thing when the movie comes out, because I cannot wait to see the movie. Let's see, where's Sprinkles? I don't know. I've been asking that too. They missed an opportunity for a non-Blue's Clues house/maincast character to skidoo with the host in Blue in the new episode. Yeah, that's fair. Periwinkle didn't come with them. I think that's because they wanted to encounter Rainbow Puppy, and they wouldn't have been able to do that without if Periwinkle was there, because there wouldn't be a reason, but yeah. The thinking chair does count as an object. Yay. Awesome. Because I love the thinking chair so much. I want it. Why do you think I'm sitting in it here? I want it so bad. I don't have one, but I want one. Speaking of objects, what happened to Blue's ball? That's fair. You know, they never brought that back, and I think it might come back eventually somewhere, but, like, it is weird to me that they don't have it even just in the background. It's so strange. You've seen What's So Funny episode? The original or the reboot? I've seen both. So, yes. Let's see, the wind-up toy from Blue Senses. Yes. You know what I'm talking about. That's the one. I love that toy. What are your plans for future content overall, Blue's Clues or not? That's always the question, isn't it? I have ideas. Right now I'm doing some gaming over on Twitch. And I might have a Let's Play coming over to this channel sometime soon. Other than that, plans kind of come and go. It can be very crazy. I'm working on stuff all the time, so yeah. I don't know how to answer that question, unfortunately. But I'm always trying to figure out some stuff to do, especially over here as of late. I really like it when you go live. Yay! It allows for a more fun, direct interaction. Yeah, that's what I like about it. Which is very fitting, given the show that I'm talking about. I want Sprinkles in the Blue's Room chest to come back. Fair. That's fair. The wind-up toy. Yes, the wind-up toy. Oh, I love the wind-up toy. How many seasons do you think Blue's Clues and You will go for? Ooh. Ideally, like... how many I think it'll go for? How many I hope it'll go for? I hope it'll go for 10 plus. But... what I think it could go for is... I don't know. Part of me wants to say, like, 6, maybe, if I were trying to go for a realistic guess. But I really hope it continues. I think it can keep going. I mean, Josh is young. He doesn't seem to be slowing down with it at all. He's having fun. And worst case, maybe they could get a new host again. Like, I'm not saying I want Josh to go away. Let me be very clear. I freaking love Josh. I don't want him to go away anytime soon. But, you know, if a new host is what it needs to take to continue the show, I would accept a new host. I want this show to continue. I really do. I really do. Remember the weird Blue and Sprinkles hide and seek toy? I don't know. Sorry. I don't really know a lot of the Blues Room toys. A lot of the original toys in general. The ball has been seen. Yeah, only in the commercial, though. Where is Green Puppy? Good question. I wish I knew. They keep replacing Green Puppy in episodes that they were originally in with Magenta. Which is weird. I wish they didn't, but maybe they'll show up again at some point. Blue's Clues and You is now on Netflix in the UK. Lucky. That's lucky. I like it. Look out. I don't know if anyone heard that, but that was a very amusing noise. Look out, Tech. There's a clue behind you. Where? I don't believe you. You're lying to me. I don't see a clue on this wall. I made this wall behind me. There's not a clue. I should have made it so that there could be a clue up there. That would have been funny, actually. I could theoretically do that. But I can't do it now, but I could have done that. If Sprinkles came back, I'm 99% positive he would bark instead of talk. That's fair. That's how I would kind of want it. Just because, you know, sibling of Blue in the real world. Obviously, we have Rainbow Puppy now, but, like, it would make most sense if Sprinkles just barked. I think including Sprinkles could do a lot for the show. It could add a fun dynamic for Blue and some new stories for Blue, like sister-wise, like they did with Paprika in the original show. Fun fact, Josh is actually older now than Steve and Donovan were during their tenures. Really? I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think Steve showed up in his, like, early 20s. So that's fair, actually. Imagine if he had to go and you got picked as Josh's replacement. I would love that. I would love to be the host. I don't know if I would be a good host. I'd like to hope that I could be a good host, but I would totally love to be the host. Nick Jr., if you want to contact me about being the host, let me know. I would take that job up in a heartbeat. I would love to do that. That'd be amazing. Let's see, what else we got? What did you thought of Steve's message 25 years? Oh, I mentioned that last stream. It made me cry. I'm not afraid to admit that. That was a sad message. It was a good message. It was happy, but it was like, oh, it hurt. Would the fourth host have to be from the same family tree we've been having for the past 25 years? I feel like now it's mandatory. That's a fair point. It feels like they keep having to connect with this lineage. They probably would have to. But I could also see them straying away from that eventually and just be like, oh, this is like a friend. If they introduced a friend early enough in the series, it wouldn't be as shocking if they, like, replaced them, even if they're not family at that point. I feel like they could manage it. Since Periwinkle has finally returned, do you think we'll probably get an episode where it's his first day of school? It's definitely possible. They could remake that original episode of Periwinkle's first day of school, because... no offense to that episode, but it's not my favorite. I think it could have been done a lot better. So maybe they can do it a lot better in the reboot. They might be trying to find an actor for Green Puppy. Possibly. Wonder if you can get the yellow curly Q frame commissioned as a build. Potentially. But I don't currently have money, so I don't think so. I would love to one day, though. I do genuinely hope Blues Room comes back to Blues Clues New as a general thing. Doesn't have to be part of the actual Blues Clues New series. It could be its own thing. I think it would have to be, personally. Nickelodeon needs to make more puppet shows. Fair. I think you would make for a great children's host, Tech. Thank you. I'd like to hope. Donovan was 24 when he auditioned, and I am 24. I feel that. I am also that. I'm almost 25. And I feel old. But yeah, I mean, age-wise, I do qualify for a Blue's Clues host, so Nick Jr., you wanna hook me up when Josh is tired of it? Interesting that you actually approve of a fourth host. Some people I've talked to don't want another host after Josh. Oh, no. I mean, that's the thing. I've never been opposed to new hosts as a whole. Even when Steve left, everyone hated Joe. It felt like a lot of people, at least, hated Joe. Stopped watching the show. They quit because Steve left, and then it was Joe. And I was hurt when Steve left, too. But I loved it. I loved Joe when he showed up. And I still love Joe. And, is he Steve? No. But, I don't care. And especially now that we have Josh, I'm so used to it at this point. It feels like it's getting that Doctor Who regeneration effect where now it's happened a couple times. So now it doesn't really faze me anymore when there's a new host. Because now it's not like when it was with Steve when it was so sacred. Now it's like there's been 3 hosts. I could see them going on with more hosts in the future. And I would be totally open to it. Yeah. How would you react if Josh were to leave? I would cry. I love Josh so much. And even though I would approve of another host at some point, I would be so sad to see Josh go. He's so good. He's so good for the show. I loved him the moment I saw him. He's such a good host for the show. I don't like the fact that Miss Marigold is now a freaking hippo. Valid. I've accepted it more and more, but I love the original Miss Marigold design. It bothers me a little bit. Let's see. Where's Miranda? I know! I want Miranda back. I loved Shannon Walker-Williams as Miranda. She was so good. I would love her to return at some point. Let's see. If Blue's Clues and you did a puppet show and Steve was there with a sock puppet. In my ideal mind, they could easily separate Blue's Clues into 2 other spin-offs. And I think it would work well. They could have Blue's Clues and You, which is the normal series, with Josh. And if, assuming the other hosts wanted to get in on shows again, Joe could go back to Blues Room. Because that's where he was, with Blues Room. That he worked well there, assuming he liked it. So he could be in Blues Room. And then Steve could spin off with his own detective show. Which I would love. We need a Detective Steve show. And that would be amazing. Imagine a show with each host. That'd be great. A whole spin-off thing for each of the hosts. That'd be so good. I need to catch up. What happened to Cash Register? I don't know. They got rid of him, man. He was replaced with Joe. Let's see. What if Josh were to leave? Sorry. Ah, gosh. My nose. What if Josh were to leave and his replacement were to be something we've never gotten, a female host? I would be open to that, honestly. It would definitely be a big change, but I could see it working. Can it be Shannon Walker-Williams? I don't know if she's down. No, I could definitely be down for that. I'd be down for whatever they throw at us. But how many hosts would there be before it starts getting ridiculous? Okay, this is Blue's 10th owner now. I don't know. I don't know. I could see it getting a little ridiculous over time, but I don't know. Especially for a kid's show where they're not really going to think about, how weird it is that people keep coming and going. I could see it working. Whatever gets Blue's Clues to continue going is fine with me. Or a non-binary host. Ooh. Switching things up. That would work. It could work. I feel like that might be a bit different for kids because it would be trying to play with pronouns, which might get confusing for a kid. But at the same time, it's a positive message. Might as well learn it at a young age. Because I do remember Nickelodeon was pushing for female hosts during auditions. That's fair. I mean, fair, it would be a nice change-up. Imagine if Miranda Cosgrove came as a host, like everyone memed. That would be interesting, but she got iCarly to do. I don't know. I couldn't see her as the host for Blue's Clues, personally. Let's see. It seemed like Joe had a blast filming Blue's Room. He was really energetic in that show. That's fair. They were going to look for a female host in the beginning, but then they changed it back to a male. Yeah, they were probably trying to keep it open, even though they were hoping for a female host. But at the same time, they were probably just trying to figure out who looked best for the show. And then Josh came along, and he was perfect. Let's see what else we got. If Paprika and Cinnamon are getting older, why is Blue still a puppy? Because she's Blue. You could almost argue that, Blue is a magic puppy from a book. So maybe she has different aging rules. Maybe she never ages. I thought we would have gotten a few before the reboot was greenlit, but I'm still having fun with Josh. Fair. We're pushing for a female host, yeah. Hey, man. Hey, Joe, man. Welcome to the stream. I've actually already done all the actual reviewing, so right now we've just been hanging out with a bit of a Q&A. So, Blue's Clues related Q&A, so yeah. My favorite part of Blue's Room was a mix between Doodleboard and the Handy Dandy Journal. That's fair. I wasn't the biggest fan of Doodleboard personally. I didn't like much of Blue's Room, to be fair. So, I'm trying to think if I had a favorite part of Blue's Room. I guess Journal and Dictionary. I liked them well enough. I just realized. So, Blue's Room is not my thing, so I just realized my two favorite parts of Blue's Room are the only animated characters. I'm so sorry. I think specifically Angela and Tracy were pushing for Steve to grab the kids' attention, while Nickelodeon was pushing for the unnamed female host. Obviously, as we know now, Steve won the kids over. There. Let's see. So since Blue's Clues New is going to have a movie, is this going to be Steve's second time being in the movie? Yeah, he's definitely in the movie. From what we've seen so far, he's definitely in this movie. Joe too. Which is really cool. I'm glad they're doing that. I stand by my theory that the characters only age to a certain point and then they live forever. I'm cool with that. That's a good theory. I mean, it fits. I mean, it's it's a book. Might as well. It's cartoon rules. Skidoo's out. Skidoo's out because I'm done. Let's see. Fred. You don't like Fred? Fred was interesting. I don't have good to say. I don't know. I don't have much positive to say about Blue's Room as a whole, I hate to say. I mean, I'm just biased against it because of what it did to Season 6, so that's just me. Puppetry's good too, Tech. I know, it's just not my thing. I'm an animation boy. It's my bias. I'm sorry. How would you react if Steve and Josh were in Blue's Room? I mean, it'd be pretty interesting. I would love to see their reaction. I would love to see Josh's reaction. That's my one big complaint about Blue's Room, along with all my other big complaints about Blue's Room, is that we never got to see Joe's first reaction to Blue talking. We saw his reaction to us telling him that Blue could talk now, but we never got to see his reaction, and that really bothers me. I want to see a character like that. I want to see a host react to that. Because that's a big thing for the host. I don't know. I really wish they would have done that. Season 6 is my favorite. Really? I mean, more power to you. I mean, it's not my personal favorite, but you know what? I mean, I'm glad you like it. I think the books we see in the intros are just Skidoo portals, as if our world is a Skidoo portal. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I've had that same thought at times. Random question. What do you think a Blue's Clues new video game would be like? Ooh. I just want it to be like the Humongous Entertainment games. I want all games to just be like the Humongous Entertainment games. Just like now that they have better quality, just make it better quality. That's my big thing. I just want it to be like that. Put it on Steam. Let me buy it. Put Blue's Clues games on Steam, please. That would be great. Just for my personal gain. I think Blue's voice actress from Blue's Room has moved on from acting, so they'd have to recast her. Fair. That's the one thing I will say about Blue's Room. Is that, like, the one positive thing I can say is that, like, even though I don't love the show, I feel like the voice for Blue was oddly fitting. And maybe it's just because that's the Blue voice we were given, so that's just sort of what we had to accept. But I thought it fit weirdly well. I don't know. Yes, the Humongous games are top tier. Yes, they are. I love them. I love them so much. They were my childhood. Put the Blue's Clues Humongous games on Steam. Hashtag. Yes. Start a movement. I need them. Aren't, like, some of the Humongous Entertainment games on Steam now? Don't they have that? Is it like the Pajama Sam games? I don't remember which games, but I think some of them are. The Humongous Entertainment games. Just not the Blue's Clues ones. Put the Blue's Clues ones on there. My CD-ROMs don't work anymore. With this new computer, I can't do that. And I want to play it so bad. Because those games were so fun. They were my childhood. How's Goobs? Goobs, how are you? He's eating some pudding, so he's pretty good. Can I have some? What do you mean you only got one pudding? Okay. He only bought one pudding cup. Well, that just ruined my whole day. I'm sitting here, no pudding. He's over there with pudding. Okay. Well, I got a sip of water, so there. I know it's not as good. But at least my thirst is quenched. So pardon me. I like Putt-Putt a bit better, but it's a nice idea. Fair. Putt-Putt looked like good games. I never played them, but they looked alright. What flavor? What flavor is it? It's chocolate. He has the best pudding flavor, and he won't give me any. I'm so sad. But anyways. No, it's fine. Keep your pudding. I don't want it. I don't want your pudding. You already ate all of it, almost. He's trying to be nice now. He feels bad. Oh, my. Did I think I'd be having an argument with Goobs today over pudding? No. Did I think that would happen on stream? Definitely no. The reason why the Blue's Clues games aren't on Steam is because Nickelodeon owns the IP. Yeah, that's fair. Humongous would need to get the permissions from Nickelodeon to put them online officially. Well, what are they waiting for? I need them now. Traitor. Oh, Jumpman called you a traitor for not giving me pudding. No, it's too late. It's too late, Goobs. You can buy me pudding tomorrow. I know we both don't have money for more pudding, but you're gonna have to find a way. Does Goob still think that cereal is a soup? We don't talk about that. No, I'm not getting this argument with you. We're not starting this. You already have pissed me off about the pudding. I'm not going to fight you on cereal soup logic. Anyways. Yeah. Alright. Last questions, folks. Last things. Because my voice is cracking and I'm feeling dead and I need to stop. The last questions, last things, and then we'll wrap up for real. My gosh. Let's see. Imagine a Blue's Clues new version of Blue's Birthday Adventure. Yes! I want a Blue's Clues new version of those games. I just want it updated and looking nice. Add some things. Texetta swears. Did I? I don't remember saying one. Did I? I genuinely don't remember. I must have blacked out for a moment. If Blue's Big Musical got a sequel or remake, would you watch it? I mean, I'll watch it, yeah. I'll watch anything that Blue's Clues New puts out, honestly. I don't think they need a remake for Blue's Big Musical, just because I think they really nailed it the first time. Plus, they've gotten away from the remakes a bit, but I mean, I'd watch it. Come on, won't you help me say so long? That's the bad version. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong, but I mean, it's a good version. I mean, well, I just negated that. I love that version. It's a little weird, it's a little silly, it's a little stupid, but I love it. You said the P word. Oh! That word. Oh well. I was like, did I say an actual curse? I've been trying not to. Meet Blue's Baby Brother, Blue's Clues New remake. They could do so. Here's the thing. They could do that, I think. I think they could do that without it even being Blue's Room, because if Puppyville is just a skidoo, then they could just have a frame of it or something, maybe like a card of it in their house, and they could go to Puppyville. It wouldn't even need to be puppetry, honestly. They could do the Blue's Clues New version of Meet Blue's Baby Brother, honestly. I think they could. And that would be a good way to get Sprinkles back in the show and reintroduce him. That would be a good season finale or something. That'd be cool. No, it's good, but nothing can beat the So Long song. That's fair. I do like the new version of the So Long song better than the original version a little bit. But yeah, I like Joe's version too. I really do. It's so silly. It's so weird, but like, I got into it. Oh my. I mean, isn't the movie technically a Blue's Big Musical redo or inspired? I wouldn't say so yet. From what we know about it, it definitely doesn't seem like it yet, just because it seems to be more about them getting into a musical rather than them putting on a musical. But, yeah. It might be more similar than we know now, I don't know. But, yeah. Final thing I'd like to ask, what are your favorite episodes of Blue's Clues New so far? Ooh, I like it. Okay, okay, final thing, okay. Episodes. I like the Christmas episode. I like the Treasure Hunt episode, because that was the very first truly original episode that we had received, in my opinion, and kind of just technically true. Ooh, I like Sad Day with Blue, because I really like the theming in that episode. I think that was really well done. I like Rainy Day, because they had an amazing song, and it was just a really good episode. And I like this new one, honestly. If I were to choose one, like, final one off the top of my head right now, I really love this new Periwinkle episode a lot. It's a really good episode. I feel like I'm missing some, honestly. But I got nothing. I forget. Again, when it comes to favorites questions, I hate to say, I blank. The moment I get a favorites question, sorry, my brain just stopped. I just, like, looked down. I'm, like, getting notifications on another thing. I got, like, 4 notifications. I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm going to have to see that in a minute. But, no, when it comes to favorites questions, I get really confused. Because, like, the moment I'm, like, trying to think of my favorites, suddenly every episode, like, erases from my brain. So, it's difficult. Last question for real this time. Ooh. How much does the Blue's Clues community mean to you? How much would it say it's influenced you? I love the Blue's Clues community. I honestly do. I'm part of it, honestly, but, I really love the community. I love all you guys, because it's nice to have people to talk about this stuff with. When I was young, like, but also, like, getting to that age where it was, like, weirder, like socially odder to like Blue's Clues, I felt so odd, and I felt so weird, and it was weird to have this, like, love for this show, despite the fact that I was growing out of it, age-wise, and it was so strange, and I didn't have anyone to talk about it with for years. And so to suddenly start posting Blue's Clues stuff again a little bit when the reboot started to become a thing, and seeing everyone come in, you know, from the community and being like, oh my god, it's really cool, this stuff you're making, and to see how that's grown over time, it's amazing. To have this thing that I used to think was so strange, and, you know, obviously I still think it's strange that I like it, you know, anyone likes it, but, you know, at the same time, who cares? But it's really nice to be able to have this validation now that people also do have this love for it that I do, and, you know, can enjoy my stuff about it, and gives me the reason and the ability to make this stuff surrounding the show, so that, you know, people can see. It's really nice, and it means a lot to me that you guys hang out for streams like this, or the videos, or any images that I post, and show love for that type of stuff, because, you know, it makes me feel ever so slightly less strange for liking these things. But yeah, you guys mean a lot to me. But yeah, I think that's about it. Whew. Oh man, I like how I said it was like, oh, it might not be a 2-hour, 45-minute stream, and now it's just going to be about that amount of time again. Oh well. But yes, I hope you guys all enjoyed this big old stream. I hope you enjoyed the both parts of the review as a whole. I hope I got across a lot of, you know, my thoughts on Blue's Clues and You and a lot of good points. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you thought it was interesting and, you know, got a lot of your questions answered. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in whatever the next video will be. So, yeah. I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.